welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another day, another season, another edition here of the GSL, the Global StarCraft League 2025 Season 2 Renovate Group B. I'm of course just VIP with you and joined by these amazing players, by the people in chat, and by the chains that bind us to GSL. All chained up, baby. Let's go. Let us go. As we have returned here with the continuation and the conclusion of the quarterfinals. Of course, we were live yesterday. We were live 24 hours ago covering Group A, covering the initial group here of the round of 8, and now we're here with Group B. As a reminder, this is of course a replay cast, and these events are less than a week old. These matches did occur last week, of course, during the week, not just the initial quarterfinals, but also the semis and grand finals as well. Our plan, of course, is to go over all of it, and we have done so, and we're here to wrap up the quarterfinals. Let's go. Let us go. We have 4 players ready for us. We have 4 players stepping into the ring, and 2 of them will advance on to the semis. The other 2 will be eliminated from GSL, as we can switch our scenes over and catch up on the group. Let's go. Let us go, let us catch up. Chained forever. Chained forever. Oh no. As we have our group here, we have, yesterday, of course, we were live with our ZVT group with 2 Zergs and 2 Terrans. Of course, we were featuring Solar, Rogue, Gumiho, and Maru. Now we are live with Group B, which is the Protoss group, with a little bit of Terran. Gonna be featuring herO, Zoun, Classic, and Bunny. And again, Bunny, he surprised us all, to be honest. Bunny, he popped off during the round of 12. I don't think many people expected Bunny to make it through, especially past some of the other higher or more notorious players. So Bunny, he had an amazing result, he had an amazing run, making it this far, and we'll see if his TVP is up to the task, because he's surrounded by Protoss. Insert meme here with Bunny just surrounded by herO, Zoun, and Classic. So hopefully he is ready, hopefully he's prepared. I'm looking forward to seeing how or what he brings to the table in terms of TVP. Meanwhile, we'll see how the Protoss do face off as well. Already, it's great to see Zoun excelling. But remember, Zoun, he failed to even qualify last season for GSL Season 1, but he's already made it this far as well. There's a lot of hype around Zoun. I know he's been practicing, training, and devoting a lot of time, and it showed up so quickly. Remember, Zoun, he only just came back from the military last year in October. Like, it's been less than a year since his return, and he's already here in the top 8. Really well done. Really well done here for Zoun. Likewise, here he is our GSL Season 1 champion. He is dubbed, I would say, the best player in South Korea. So he's going to be coming in as the heavy favorite. And likewise, you have Classic dubbed the number 2 Protoss in South Korea. We'll see how he can keep up and shape up to the rest of the players in the group. Here we go. First series, of course, is going to be herO versus Zoun. We're going to be jumping into our first of many PvPs, as I'm sure we have many more ahead of us. Jumping into that PvP, game 1 is going to be on Pylon. Let's go. Fitting here for the Protoss versus Protoss. Just catching up in the chat. Catching up. Hello, welcome to 007 PSC. Late Chrononauts as well. Better or whatever. Cyberjohn, ¿qué tal? ¿Cómo estás? Bienvenidos, papi, bienvenidos. As we are jumping on in and spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Pylon, we have the red Protoss player. We have the South Korean Protoss representing Team Vitality. It is Zoun. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss representing Twisted Minds. It is herO. Here we go. I'm liking Bunny's odds here, Cap. I mean, you say that, I feel like we had the same response and reaction to Bunny in the round of 12. Like, it was, again, I don't think many people expected Bunny to make it out of the round of 12, but he made it through, made it further into the tournament. So he's already, I want to say, exceeded expectations. I'm here to see more. Again, we've had players like Bunny make it through and not Cure. Remember, Cure, he got knocked out early, and Cure, he was last season's runner-up. Like, he was the runner-up of Season 1, but he was knocked out in the first round of the groups in Season 2. Crazy results, man. Crazy results. Crazy upsets. Beyond didn't make it through either, right? Cure didn't make it. Beyond didn't make it. Bunny did. Let's go. Mainly off of his TVT. True. That is true. So now we have a 2-gate. So 2-gate opener out of herO. Likewise, a 2-gate opener out of Zoun. So far, mirrored builds, mirrored setups. Zoun, of course, moving out with the probe scout. herO, he skips it entirely. This is something that herO does from time to time, and it's so risky. It's so risky. It's so greedy. Zero scouting out of herO. For all he knows, he could be being all in right now. There could be a proxy, and there it is. Speaking of, probe moves out, throws down the pylon. And I'm pretty sure this is more of a reactive pylon. What I mean by that, Zoun, he notices, like, hold up, you're not scouting. You're cutting corners. You're not looking at what I'm doing. Time to punish. So the pylon gets thrown down. It's a bit of a later proxy, but it is going to be thrown down here, setting up for, I would imagine, a proxy robo, or we could go for a Stargate. There it is, Stargate. Okay, so proxy Stargate. The goal here is to get economic damage. This is not for an all-in. This is to get damage done in the main base and cripple the economy of herO. Behind this here, we're going to be opening up a Stalker Sentry. With this, you'll have some scouting information. Does go for the Robo Opener. Interesting. So a couple things are happening here. A Robo Opener is designed to hard counter an all-in. So if he's being proxied, if he's being all-in, then he can shut it down. Likewise, he can turn this into aggression as well. Hallucination moves out. Hallucination confirms the proxy. Very fortunate here for herO. And Zoun is punished for throwing down the proxy in such an open location here. Wasn't hidden towards the edge of the map. It wasn't hidden by any means, and herO finds it. So with that, herO is now aware of the Oracle. Likewise, confirms no other tech back at home. Here already moving out to focus on the pylon. We'll see if he can. Adepts, will bypass the main army. Pylon is under fire. It's taking a lot of hits. Taking some hull damage. Does take some permanent damage. Adepts, do shade across the map, but behind this herO, he's in position on top of the ramp. He's ready to wall up, and he will die the Oracle! No shot, the Oracle is denied. The Oracle does not pop out. Aye, brutal pickup here. Massive delay. Adept says they do shade across the map, but last hero's in position. Here, he's ready, he defends, he holds. Whew. Does hold on. As Zoun attempts to repower, but he won't be able to. He will not be able to. Zoun still has that probe in position. And this is a brutal start for Zoun. The opener does nothing. This was a big investment, by the way. Remember, instead of a Stargate, what could there have been? A Twilight Council, a Robo, an expansion, anything else. Instead, there is nothing. Meanwhile, Adepts, once again, they do fail to get into the main. herO pushing out across the map. Zoun, he is in a lot of trouble here. Oh god, the force field, he locks him down. He locks him in, he chains him up. The Stalker will be targeted. And now we're down to one Stalker. Adepts are racing back home to help defend. Pylon's under fire. Without the pylon, there's no shield battery. Oh, once again, nice force field. Once again, locking down those Stalkers. Adepts are coming in from behind, but so are the Stalkers, who surround too. Adepts come in, but more Stalkers come in as well. And herO, he might just have too much. He has too much here. Takes down all the Adepts. Looks like he will lose one more Stalker, but there's just so much momentum in favor of herO, just rallying across the map at this point. And he canceled the Robo. Oh, when he scouted, of course, it makes sense. Stasis trap into the main. Stasis does go off. Okay. Damage is being done, but across the map, there's only two Stalkers. No shield battery, no nothing else. But here again, he canceled the robot when he realized there was no all-in. He did replace it with a Twilight Council into Blink, and GG gets called. herO takes game at number 1. Whew. GG. A solid game there out of herO. Again, Zoun, I understand the proxy. I understand trying to punish herO for not scouting. It makes sense, makes perfect sense. Unfortunately, it was in a very scoutable location. It was dead set in the center of the map. I'm sure he was hoping that maybe herO would be a little bit more greedier and would skip the sentry. Unfortunately, was seen immediately, and it never really came into play. True, it eventually got repowered, and eventually the Oracle got into the main, but by then it was too late. By then it was too little too late. herO did snowball out of control, and with that, herO takes a lead. herO does take lead in the series, and we'll see if Zoun can bounce back as we jump into game número 2. Gonna be on Persephone. Hello, Solensvard. ¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo estás? Bienvenidos as we are jumping into game number 2 and spawning in the top left-hand corner of Persephone. This might be a short series. We have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the Blue Protoss representing Twisted Minds. It is herO. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have... bottom left-hand corner, we have the opposing player. We have the South Korean Protoss player, the Red Protoss, representing Team Vitality. It is Zoun. As he does move out across the map, moving out once again to scout. Again, scouting was an issue for Zoun. I guess it was the opponent's scouting, of course, which had hurt him, which had saw him down. Probe does move in, And let's go. We're cannon rushing. The forge has been placed. And Zoun, he's opening up with a cannon rush. Classic, is that you? Aye. I mean, even herO's been cannon rushing as of late as well. But there we go. The pylons are going to be thrown down. He's setting up on the low ground. Zoun, he's crazy. And again, this is catching herO off guard. Again, with the full wall, there's no pylon. There's no probe on the low ground. Again, herO, he gets punished once again for not scouting across the map. Does break through. There is still that pylon on the high ground, giving some high ground vision. Cannon is safe. Yeah, herO cannot get on top of that pylon. Sorry, on top of that cannon. More boys are being pulled. Meanwhile, more cannons in the main. This cannon will be targeted, but again, that first cannon will finish. First cannon will complete, and there's still high ground vision. Oh, yeah, herO, he's not reacting well to this. He's chasing the probe. Meanwhile, the cannon is now done. And we can keep... Remember, there was still a probe in the main. Yeah, there was... herO, he's panicking, Bab. He's panicking. Again, he reacted to that first probe on the low ground. The cannons that get back up and running. And if this cannon can finish, then that's going to be game. Probe does move back in. We just keep this going. And ideally, you want to work your way towards the main base, towards the mineral line. You want to leapfrog forward. Cannon is under fire. The pylon is safe, but the gateway is not. And this is game. Like, there's nothing. There's just nothing that herO can do. No shot. Another probe has arrived just to ensure that we can keep this cannon rush going. And again, herO, he didn't quite react well enough to when it comes to securing his main base. He was not able to surround the probe in the main either. Sent out too many to chase a second probe, and everything just got out of hand. It got out of hand, it got out of control. It's like I'm casting Zest again. If you remember, Zest also got cannon rushed to death in ESL Open Cup Americas when he played against Probe Scouts. Likewise, Maru also got cannon rushed by Prince. True. Prince did cannon rush the hell out of Maru. Did take Maru out. So that was a couple of years ago. So this is not the first cannon rush that has succeeded in GSL, not by far. They do happen every now and then, but they're still a rare sight. Still a rare sight. And this Nexus is not long for this world. Yeah, there's no saving it. There's no saving it. herO, he has no ninja base to escape. He's gonna try to race out with the probes, and they will make it out. But herO can't afford a Nexus. herO, he's broke. herO is broke. He cannot afford a Nexus. His one chance here is to maybe kill across the map, but there's a cannon, and we can just fully wall off. Like, again, the one chance for herO is to just drone drill, and GG gets called. Zoun ties up the series. We're going to the ace match. GG. GG, well played. Again, herO, literally the best player in South Korea, the best Protoss in the world, goes down to a cannon rush. And they work, papi, they work. I feel like after this GSL, we're going to see like an upswing of cannon rushes on the ladder. It's going to be awful. It's going to but GG, well played. With that, Zoun does tie the series 1-1, and it is a short series here. We're like 10 minutes in. We're already tied up 1-1. Now, the problem here about cannon rushing is that we should not see a cannon rush again in this series. That should not happen. We might see it in the broadcast. I mean, again, there's also Classic getting involved as well, so there's going to be more PvPs. But here, we'll see how our players do approach Tokamak as Game 3. Let's go. Let us go. When is herO going to pick an off race to avoid the mirror? The problem is that all the players that pick an off race to avoid mirror matchups, they pick Protoss. And herO's already Protoss, so there's no option left, Pappy. There's no option left. Smooch. And why would he avoid the mirror if he has the best PvP in the world? Like herO, he's been looking very dominant over MaxPax and the other Protosses. So I feel like there's less reason for him to switch it up. But regardless, here we go. We're jumping into the ace match and spawning in the top right hand corner of Tokamak. We have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the red Protoss representing Team Vitality. It is Zoun. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the blue Protoss player representing from the land of South Korea, representing Twisted Minds. It is herO. And yo, a shout out to Dave Test in the chat. God, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the raid. Hope you had a great stream. Hope you had a great ladder session. I'm assuming maybe a bit of casting. Hope you had a great time. And likewise, hope you also had a great time at Cheeseadelphia. Again, it was really cool to see so many people turn out for Cheeseadelphia. I've heard good things, whether it's yourself, you know, Nish, Tempo, alongside all the other players, ex-Kawaiian, Geralt traveling, of course, as well. So hope you had a great time. Hope you had a great time. Here we go. So far, we do have our openers. It is going to be a 2-gate opener, double gate opener here out of Zoun. Likewise, 2-gate opener out of herO. So 2-gate openers all around. So far, so good. And again, despite herO arguably having the best PvP in the world, we have Zoun catching him out. does cheese him out with the cannon rush. Let's go. Let us go. As this time, there's no forge. This time, there's no forge. This time, we have our standard openers. There's no probe out on the map. There's no proxy. There's no shenanigans. Not this time. But it has been a short series. So, so we'll keep it out of the probes. It was a rough time too for Dave, but good indeed. Thank you for casting it too. Always, Matthew, always. I think we've casted the last like 3 or 4 Cheeseadelphias, so we'll always be there. We'll always be there for Cheeseadelphia, always. Even if it means no sleep, we'll always there for cheese. That's now our players, they do expand for the first time, by the way. For the first time this series, we're expanding. We're getting our natural bases up and running. So far, standard openers, no hidden tech, no crazy shenanigans. It is going to be a robot opener out of herO. herO is very fond of these robot openers. With this, it does lead into early immortal production, and herO does very often like going into 2 to 2.5 base immortal glaive adept all-ins. So we'll keep an eye on the Twilight Council timing for herO. Meanwhile, Hallucination gets across the map. Ooh, the scout is denied. herO, he barely doesn't get eyes on the tech. It's going to be a Twilight Council behind the mineral line, working towards Blink. But of course, herO, he's unaware. He is unaware. herO throwing down a proxy pylon on the right-hand side. Interesting. Toss right on the pylon. Oh, going robot opener into a proxy Stargate. This is quite tech heavy. It's very tech heavy here, very risky as well. But also, this is kind of out of left field here. Like, again, when you scout across the map, when you confirm the tech, whether it's robot, whether it's Twilight Council, the last thing you're expecting is a Stargate as well. So this is very out of left field and very difficult to read. herO pokes in. herO, he has yet to really confirm what's going on. It is just going to be Blink. There's no crazy DT follow-up here out of Zoun. After the cannon rush, I mean, anything is possible. But here, he is skipping warp-ins. Yeah, he's skipping warp-ins. The Immortal is revealed. Stargate is done. But he's skipping warp-ins to be able to afford this, right? To be able to afford the Stargate and afford the Oracle as well. He's moving out. Likewise, with the help of his Warp Prism, herO, he can push across the map. Behind this down, throwing down extra gateways. Getting up to a 3-gate setup. Oh! The probe is moving out for his own proxy, and he barely will not see this. No, Zoun. He barely does not get eyes on the Stargate. Oracle's on the way. Oracle is on the way. The Oracle finds a proxy. herO sees Zoun. Zoun does not see herO. As of course, the vision of the pylon is lower, is smaller. And here he just moves out. He just moves out. We have a Forge on the way for +1. Proxy gateway here out of Zoun, going up to a 4-gate setup. That's a lot of gateways. Here comes the move out. As Zoun moves out, there's not much in the main. Yeah, Zoun, he races back home. Probes are falling. 2, 3 probe kills. Oh, nice reaction out of Zoun. So far, so good. 3 probes, that's not worth it for herO. That is not worth it. And now here comes a 4-gate Blink aggression. And herO is trying to set up back at home. No shield batteries. Uh-oh. Shield batteries are late. Now herO, he sees what's coming. Remember, he saw the proxy. And we're not just going up to 4, going up to 5 gates. It's a 2-base all-in. Yeah, straight up 2-base all-in here from Zoun. It's all or nothing. He does find the proxy. We'll shut it down. And herO, he's in danger. He needs more immortals. These are shield batteries. Again, so far, still only one. Only one shield battery. herO ninja base? He's dead. No shot, papi. No shot. Ninja base on the way. He's crazy, papi. He's crazy. Against an all-in. Now is not the time. Like herO, he saw the gates. He saw both of them. He knows. No shot. Does hallucinate one immortal. Does go for the fake out. We did speak earlier about 2-base immortal Clave Adept all-in. Yep, there it is. Again, hero's very fond of it. Thankfully did bring it up ahead of time, but we'll see if we can even get there. Now the Prism does get across the map, does distract Zoun for a moment. Here comes the dive. He blinks in, does go for the dive. One immortal goes down. There's one immortal left, and Zoun, he should have enough. He should have more than enough here. Takes down every immortal. Boys are being pulled. Another immortal has arrived, and now here he can afford to lose some probes. True, he can afford to lose them, but so many of them are choked up. Yeah, the force fields are brutal. The immortal does nothing. And Zoun should break through. Again, we're down to 3 stalkers. Soon to be 5. herO harassing across the map. Oh, this is getting out of hand. It's getting out of hand here. 13 probe kills. herO still ahead economically. +1 is denied. Another force field. Another force field goes off. But that was the final force field. Sentry goes down. Now we have 2 immortals. herO, he's holding. No shot. The defense isn't just the defense is impressive here, but the harassment across the map. 16 probes, an entire mineral line worth of workers go down, and Zoun is still behind economically. Like he was always all in, of course, but now he has to try to sustain himself. Cannot expand. There's a recall. The Adepts they come back in, and here he's surviving with the ninja base. God. Again, this ninja base is not helping herO at all. It's hurting him more than anything, but he's getting away with it. He survives. Wow. This should not have happened. It's the herO. I mean, again, winding it back here, herO would be behind. He'd be in a dire position if it wasn't for the Adepts. To be honest, the Adepts were the MVPs. The Adepts that were straight up the MVPs because they did an equivalent, if not greater amount of damage across the map. Ooh, herO's getting caught out. We'll bleed out 1 immortal. There's 2 immortals left. Results going to be trickling in. Another immortal goes down. Down to 1 immortal. Again, barely any reinforcements. Once again, herO gets across the map, but this time there are stalkers ready. Prism goes down. And herO will lose every immortal he was fighting without his shield batteries. Without his side defense. Adepts, so they're wreaking havoc. They're popping up. Another immortal gets picked up. Boys are being pulled. This is still very, very clutch. Very tense. Yeah, boys are pulled away. herO losing all his probes. There's still 1 immortal on the high ground. Meanwhile, Zoun also losing all his workers as well. Oof. Zoun still up 10 probes. Still up 10. Immortal can hold. Again, this has been a messy game. It's been very messy. Ooh, bit of miscontrol. Doesn't get the immortal. Doesn't quite get it. The ninja base is getting up and running. Here comes the dive, but now we have another immortal. Yeah, here he's holding. Here he's holding on. Stalkers are so very low. Oh, shields get triggered. Shields are triggered. Zoun is reinforcing. The Prism went down across the map. Zoun now can focus on the fight. Again, these stalkers, they just don't really have the HP to dive in, not like they did previously. So good as 5 gates. So good as 5 gates. Still trying to dive forward. We do not have another immortal. Uh-oh. Just the 1. And with only 1 immortal, Zoun, he can still pull this up. Oh, I think a little bit of mistargeting. Did target the debris. The debris coming in clutch. Tanking some shots. Guardian Shield gets activated, only for a couple of seconds. It's still 15 Stalkers. Zoun, he should be able to break this. I say that, now we have 2 Immortals though. Second Immortal has arrived. Economy still neck and neck. Zoun, I'm sure is thinking like, how can you afford this? Like, you should be dead. He dives in, does bling, takes out the Immortal, and he should take the other as well. Yeah, both Immortals go down. Without any Immortals here, he cannot hold. He cannot hold. He should not hold. This entire time, only 1 shield battery result. Like, again, bearing in mind, if he didn't get the ninja base, he could have had like 3 more shield batteries here. Or an extra gateway for extra warp ins. Like, ay. Like, sure, the ninja base, it's somewhat saturated, but it's not helping. Not like this. Wait for a messier defense, and Zoun, he should now have enough to at least kill the natural. One more volley, brings it down. Does bring it down, diving on up the ramp. Takes out the Immortal, and GG gets called down. He will overwhelm. He pulls off the 2 base all in, and he punishes the greed of herO. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Zoun, he does claim the 2-1. Again, very cheesy play there out of Zoun. Game 2, he cannon rushed, and game 3, he went for the 2 base all in. And herO, I would say overconfident. Overconfident. As we mentioned, herO, he had this also to defend. He would have been fine, but he chose to... Okay, winding it back. Remember, herO, he scouted the 2 gateways and he saw the gates in the main. He saw 5 gates. He knew it was a 2 base all in the face of the all in ninja base. Like, he made that decision. It was so greedy here. So maybe not respecting Zoun enough when it comes to the potential of that all in. But herO, yeah, just overly greedy there in his decision making. Did choose to get that ninja base instead of just hunkering down, and in the end it was broken. In the end he was broken. GG, well played. With that, Zoun does claim it 2-1. GG. Oh my god. So a crazy result to start things off here. I would say definitely an upset, but a pleasant one nonetheless. Now, I'm sure that Classic is very fond of seeing that, because again, Zoun was hyper cheesy and hyper aggressive, and I'm sure if we do end up seeing them face off, I mean, I'm sure Classic now has a better idea of how to approach Zoun. But I'm getting ahead of myself, because up next we have a PvT between Classic and Bunny. Bunny, of course, did surprise many, myself included, when it comes to his ability to make it to the round of 8. Again, who made it to the round of 8? Bunny. Who didn't? Cure and Beyond. Cure and Beyond, they failed to advance on further in the tournament. Instead, Bunny rose up among them. So again, we had a crazy turn of events. If you remember, it was a lot of it was based off of TVTs. Like Bunny, he straight up just had the superior TVT. He was looking very strong in his turn versus turn matchup in the previous round. Likewise in the EWC qualifiers as well. But how is Bunny's TVP looking? That is the big question, especially because he's surrounded by nothing but Protoss. Can't rely on his TVT here. Not here, not this time, as game 1 is going to be on Incorporeal. Let's go. Let us go. Bunny's back. Bunny's been back for years. It's been like 2 years, 3 years. It's been back for a while. And let's just saying back in form. True. Like, Bunny has been like in the middle of the pack for a while. So it's great to see him excel here and pop off. And here we go, spawning in the bottom hand corner of Incorporeal. We have our South Korean Terran player. We have our blue Terran representing Team Falcons. It is Bunny. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the red Protoss representing Virtus Pro. It is Classic. Oh no. Bunny's back's a furry. You're an animal, Solens. You're an animal. God damn. Let's go. herO is old news. herO with a capital H is old news. It's been a long time since he's competed in StarCraft. I want to say he competed a little bit in Legacy, a little bit. Been a while. This is here with a lowercase h. Feels hero, man. As of now, we're settling in. I'm going to be settling in. Double gas opener out of Bunny. Classic, he is denied the scout, so Classic is in the dark. From here, Classic, for all he knows, there could be a CC. There could be a CC further back in the main. It could be one hidden here, or there could be a factory on the way. Classic is in the dark. So cheeky start here from Bunny. Now with a double gas opener, it means a faster factory, it means a faster tech. From here we can go into reactor, which we're not seeing, but we could go reactor into reactor Reaper Hellion. We could go for the early tech lab into an add-on swap into Cyclone. We could open up with a tech lab into Cyclone drop, or even towards Banshee play. Of course, Bunny should still be expanding, but regardless, very tech heavy, and we'll keep an eye on the add-ons and on the factory. Naming oneself hero is a bit on the nose. I mean, there's a lot of heroes. There's ex-Liquid hero, there's ex-CJ hero, there's the Brood War hero, and I want to say there's another hero as well. But thankfully, all the heroes, they all have different, I guess, different spellings, or they have different capitalizations. Thankfully. To help distinguish one from the other, at least a little bit. It also helps that the Brood War hero is Zerg, not Protoss. That also helps. Yeah, we got Hero Marine as well. True. Oh, the heroes. So we are settling in. So far, we have our Twilight Council opener as our tech of choice from the side of Classic. Likewise, Hallucination does move out across the map, and Classic, he will see everything. He will confirm the 1-on-1. More importantly, he sees the add-ons as well, so he confirms that there are no... He confirms the Marine, so he confirms there's no Reactor Reaper Hellion. Likewise, gets eyes on the Cyclone. Yep, does confirm. So now he's aware. Now he's aware of the double gas. Behind this, throwing down 2 gates, so again, 3-gate blink. 3-gate blink, has a safety shield battery as well. Is lacking some SimCity here, but with the help of the force field, with the help of the army, like he would be safe for any kind of dive. And here comes the initial drop. So Cyclone Marine drop. Behind this, ooh, no add-on swap on the tech lab from the starport, so no Banshee, no Raven. It is going for faster Marine production, faster stim. Interesting. So much faster stim here out of Bunny. As does rotate over. Classic does take his gases, so Classic, he delays his third. And again, if you've been watching PVT as of late, then you will know this has become the more standard style. There's been a lot of discussion around the TVP meta as of late, and I've been trying to remind people, because a lot of people have been talking about how, like, oh, there's been like so many all-ins in TVP as of late, and there's just nothing but all-ins and Protoss are dying. Well, if you've been watching over the past month of play, especially the Korean scene, so players like Classic, Zoun, herO, and Creator, this has been more common. Nowadays, it is rare to go for a 2-gate opener, 2-gate blink into a third. That you almost never see. You almost never see 2-gate blink anymore. Now it's all about 3-gate openers and even delaying your third a little bit longer, so you are prepared for 2-base all-ins, because they've been so popular, because they've been so trendy. Like, these openers have become more normal now as you delay your third. So delayed third base out of Classic, and as these more safer openers and safer builds become more normalized, then I would imagine 2-base all-ins from Terran will die down and the meta will shift again, just as, you know, this becomes more standard and more common. As Classic does move out. But again, you would have noticed this trend in the finals of GSL Season 1 between herO and Cure, also in the EWC qualifiers, and at DreamHack Dallas. Oh. So these safer openers have become more standard. Meanwhile, from the side of Bunny, Stim is almost done, and we're going for a 2-base all-in. We're going for the 2-base all-in. Diving in, sniping a tank. Very nice. Tank goes down. Stim, no shot. Oh, okay, Stim is exposed, and thankfully doesn't snipe Stim. Bunny, he commits across map. The boys are being pulled, and Classic is not in position back at home. Despite the safe opener, is he ready for this? We have all the shield batteries on the way. He can always recall as well. Again, does cripple the production. But we need the army back at home to defend. That's what matters here. There's a recall. There's a recall back home. Feedback on the medevac. Does get the feedback. Tanks, they're getting within range of the shield batteries. Yeah, Bunny's in position. He's in position. He will break down this front door. Depowers everything. Oh, the Immortal. The Immortal's not going to pop out. Yeah, the Immortal does not pop. And with that, Bunny, he's doing it. He's doing it. Again, that's 2 gateways and the Robo depowered. Again, Classic harassing across the map was nice and all, but he failed to slow this down. He wasn't able to slow this down, wasn't able to buy any time. Bunny, he just sent it across the map anyway. And with that, it takes down the gate. And takes down the natural. Like, there's no protecting this. There's no saving the natural base. Classic getting ready for the surround. I do appreciate that he's being patient. So Classic, he has to be patient here. Again, the natural doesn't matter. Here we go. Comes through from behind. Dives on the army. There's not enough stalkers here. Not enough stalkers. He cannot focus down the tank. And Bunny, he will break through. He will break through. Nice control. Saves the tank. Does save the tank. Does break the natural. And Classic, I would argue, maybe pushing a little bit too soon. And with that, he's down to 1 zealot, down to 0 zealots. GG gets called, and Bunny takes game number 1. Whew, GG. GG, well played, Bunny. He does take the game. Again, Classic, I want to give credit to Classic when it comes to his build. I do think that his build, his opener, was solid, was on point. But it came down to the execution. Again, Classic, I mean, I think it was a great job for him to catch the tank as it was coming out of the production, but he did spend and did, I would say, waste a lot of time killing SCVs in the main. Whereas instead, there's a lot of value when it comes to engaging with the army ahead of time, especially with Blink Stalkers, to pick off SCVs, pick off Marines, ideally force the siege early, buy time for the shield batteries to finish. Remember, by the time that Bunny got across the map, there were 3 shield batteries on the way. They weren't done. The shield batteries were not done. Classic could not make a stand at his natural. GG. GG, well played. Also credit to Bunny, because he didn't flinch. The Stalkers blinked into the main, and he's like, let's go. Like, send it across. He just ignored it. He just ignored it. He committed it across the map. He knew what he needed to do to catch Classic off guard. GG. GG, well played. With that, we're getting into game 2. Let's go. Let us go. As spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Tokamak, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the Blue Terran, who representing Team Falcons, leading the series 1-0. It is Bunny. And spawning in the bottom right, no, sorry, in the top right-hand corner of Tokamak, we have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the Red Protoss, despite his preparation, still was not able to survive against the All-In. We'll see if he can adjust here and hunker down and force the ace match. It is a classic for Virtus Pro. Let's go. Let us go. Is it more standard these days to win Sentry before Twilight Council? Yes, yes. Especially because if you remember, Classic, his Probe Scout was denied, so he did need that Sentry to hallucinate to scout. And again, like, I feel like Classic, his opener, his build itself was solid. It was solid. He saw everything. He knew it was an all-in. He saw it ahead of time. But he wasn't able to slow it down. In a way, you could argue he got baited, right? He got baited by the main base. Maybe if he was able to get stim, like, that would have been worth it. But, again, he just spent a lot of time in the main killing SCVs. And with that, it was caught out. Was caught out. And this time, economic opener. Okay, so we're slowing things down. Now, when it comes to our build, when it comes to our map, welcome one and all to Tokamak. Tokamak is one of the larger maps in the map pool, so this does make the most sense. I do expect to see these kind of openers out of Bunny on Tokamak, on Maganatha as well, just because they're not really too conducive here to all-ins. I say that, there's some Terran players that, regardless of the map, they'll go all-in anyway, but it is going to be a little bit more difficult to pull off. Regardless, Classic, he saw the faster CC, so he knows that early on he's safe. So from here, we're going to be opening up Adept. The goal of the Adept is to get across the map and to delay the command center. Ideally, shade in, shade past the safety bunker, and pick off the SCV, assuming that would be a safety bunker. So yeah, Adept into Stalker. Now, because of this more economic start, this is where Classic could go 2-gate blink. He could go 2-gate blink into a faster third. Classic has the option to cut corners here. It's still risky in the current meta, because this can still turn into a 2-base all-in, by the way. Like, 100%. Like, this does not mean that we're getting into a third and we're getting into a longer game. It just means that the opener is less aggressive. As Adept does shade past. And can we delay the CC? Oh, dives in the ACV. Does dive in. Good reaction here. Nicely done. Saving the worker. Diving into the bunker. Does dive in. Finishes the command center. Again, the building bunker SCV did finish it up instead. This was very clean. Very clean here from Bunny. Well done. Shuts down the Adept. His CC is not delayed. And from here, we're settling in. Now, what kind of follow-up do we have here? So far, Blink. So Twilight Council into Blink. We have 2 gateways to begin with. We'll see if we go 2-gate Blink into a third, or if we throw down extra gateways. Probe is moving out. Hellion is here to scout. And Classic looks like he does want to expand. Behind this, we're going for the add-on swap. So Tech Lab into add-on swap. It was Hellion, no Cyclone this time, into Cloak Banshee. Oh boy. So fast Cloak Banshee here out of Bunny. And Classic, he should confirm this. He hasn't seen it yet, but he's got the Sentry, and he will soon have Hallucination, and he should get eyes on the researching Tech Lab. That should happen. Obviously, there's a world where these Marines deny the Scouts, right? There's a chance here that the Marines, they could catch a Hallucination and deny vision from Classic. So we'll see if Bunny can pull that off. As here comes that Hallucination. It's coming from the right-hand side. And here, there's nothing in position, so Classic, he should get the Scout off. Depending on where we go, where we head. Behind this, again, did go into his third base. We now have a Gateway Explosion, getting up to a 4-gate setup. So it's 2-gate Blink into a third. Does poke in, and does confirm. There we go, does confirm the tech. Does get eyes on Cloak. Now with this, you should be getting in position. Cloak Banshees, they can pose a great threat here to the economy. So behind this, observers are amassing. They're getting in position. Bunny does move out across the map. Now what's important here, Bunny, he knows he got scattered. So what does he do? He's not harassing. He's not harassing so far. The Banshees are going to be moving out with the main army. They're moving out together. From here, we could pull the boys. We do have our 3 racks set up. Do we have stim? I believe we don't. Yeah, no stim. No stim. So all the DPS comes from the tanks, comes from the Banshees. The Marines are just here to buffer. And a couple of boys are being pulled. We're sneaking up on the third. Classic charge is not ready. He does have Link. Dives in. Yeah, he gets the tank. He does get the tank. Nice pickup. And without the tank, there's nothing here. Yeah, there's just nothing here. Second tank a little bit too late. Now getting in position. Zoning back the army. Does snipe the sentry. Sentry does go down. Bunker's on the way, but now there's only 1 tank. If there were 2, he could actually push forward and get within range of the Nexus. And the longer this goes on, the easier it's going to be here for Classic to clean this up. As he's coming in from behind. He gets a tank. Once again, gets a tank. Tank goes down. Massive pickoff. And but he has to get the hell out of here. Yeah, he has to get out. He has to leave. Leaves out more Marines. And this time, Classic, he holds. He does hold. Not just hold. He might just surround the entire army. Charge is now done. And there's no medevacs. No medevacs. He cannot save the tank. Tank goes down. Ay, ay, ay. And Bunny, he will lose everything. He will lose everything here. He cannot escape. There's detection for the Banshee. Runs out of Cloak anyway. And Bunny has nothing. Bunny, he has a bunker. He has 1 tank. He has 3 Marines. Classic playing it safe. Ooh, does force a cancel. Ay, ay, ay. Denies the third. And with help of that Immortal, yeah, he can break through. He can break through. Takes down the tank. Takes down the bunker. There's one tank on the high ground. But even then, it can be targeted once again. Nice kiting here from Classic. Let's kite back. More Zealots rallying across the map. Now there's no bunker. Now this position is even weaker. And Classic, he can once again look to break this. Can break this. Now he's pulling away, getting a fourth base, building up towards Colossus. Classic just securing himself. Now we do see Bunny up to 2 tanks. And Bunny's in a rough position here. Oh, nice force fields. Very nice. Catching out, what, 3-4 Marines. Drop into the main. Bunny, he just doesn't have the supply to defend. And he has to hold here without tanks. As tanks, they get targeted down, they both fall. GG gets called, and Classic ties up the series 1-1. We are going to the ace match. Whew. GG. GG, well played. Again, this time, it was a less committed build here by Bunny. It was a little bit weaker. Again, he did hit with less Marines. He did hit with tanks and Banshees instead. But Classic was able to scout ahead of time and able to engage ahead of time as well. He was able to catch out the first tank, able to get this around, catch reinforcements, and this time a much cleaner defense here by Classic. GG. GG, well played. Of course, this was less of a committed push, but at the same time, he at least saw it ahead of time and he was able to get this around, catch out the army. GG. GG, well played. Unfortunately, again, if he had maybe delayed his push a little bit longer, just to wait for that second tank, just to push him with 2, he might have had a little bit more success when it came to threatening the third. But last, he was just kind of picked apart there. One tank, then the other. And with that, we're now getting into the ace match, and spawning into the top left-hand corner of a pylon, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the blue Terran representing Team Falcons. It is Bunny. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the red Protoss player, the red Protoss himself, representing Virtus Pro, tying up the series 1-1. It is Classic. And again, I would imagine that this time he is going to be a lot more aware and a lot more careful about these all-ins. He was caught out once in game 1, and the reason why I bring this up, welcome to Pylon. Pylon is very common for all-ins. This is a much smaller map, smaller than Tokamak, smaller than, well, I want to say it's comparable to Ultra Love, but the rush distance by ground is quite short, and all-ins are favored. All-ins are favored. The rush distance by ground is also very direct. There's no high ground advantage here at the natural or at the third locations, and yeah, almost immediately here, double gas here. Double gas opener makes plenty of sense. Faster factory. We're expecting aggression here out of Bunny. As he does poke in. I like how this time Bunny doesn't even try to hide, doesn't even try to wall off. Like, nah, we all know what's gonna happen. As both gases are spotted, Classic is aware. And we'll see how safe he plays this time. Again, I'll be honest, I'm expecting to see Classic go for the same opener he went for in game 1, to see like a 3-gate opener, gases at the natural, robo before third. That would make the most sense here. Now, there are some Protoss players that do blindly open Charge. Like, Charge is another viable option here for Classic instead of Blink, where that's a good way to shut down tank-based all-ins if you can like try to read that from your opponent. Another option here is a Robo Opener. Robo Openers do allow for early Immortals, which are also built to break bunkers and break tanks as well, to get into early Immortal production. I would say that on a map as small as this, it would be risky to go for Immortals, just because it does take quite some time to actually build them up and get them up and running. But we'll see. When I say go for Immortals, I mean Robo Opener specifically. We shall see. For now, Tech Lab. We're going straight Tech Lab here. Tech Lab on the factory. From here, we can go into an early Cyclone, into a Cyclone drop initially, then into tank production. Otherwise, there's no shot we add-on swap. The other option would be to go Widowmine. Widowmine into Widowmine drop. Despite the Tech Lab, you can just like fake out aggression. But there it is the Cyclone. Cyclone is on the way Twilight Council opener out of Classic. Getting a second gateway. And we're expecting more gateways here. Remember, last game, Classic, what did he do? He went 2-gate blink into a third, but that also coincides with Bunny going for an economic opener. Here, we should not see that at a Classic. We should not see that amount of greed. Okay, extra vax is on the way. Here comes the initial medevac. For the drop. Add-on swap here. That does mean we have access to faster Banshees. I'm saying faster Raven. True, I guess. But it does go for the add-on swap. Which means... Oh. Never mind. I assumed it was going to be Starport on the Tech Lab, but it's going to be the Rax instead. Okay, so early stim. Yeah, much earlier stim. This is looking very similar to game 1. And you can see, yep, double gas. Double gas here on 2 bases and a Robo on 2 bases as well. Boys are being pulled. So far deflects the Cyclone. But again, Classic, just like in game 1, he is delaying his 3rd base. And again, like I was praising Classic for his build of choice in game 1 as well. Did lose the game, but that was more so about the execution, less so about the build. Has yet more gateways as well. So getting to 4 gateways into Blink, into the Robo. Extra gases, still no expand. So Classic is once again getting ready here for aggression, for an all-in. If we were headed into a macro game, then Classic he'd be falling behind because he shouldn't, or he would need a 3rd. But the 3rd doesn't matter as much here, not in this kind of game state. Hallucination scouts, Hallucination sees early stim and tank production. And when it comes to this stim timing, Bunny, he may pull the boys again. We'll see if he does. If he does go for it. Classic is moving out. Charge on the way. Temple Archives as well. Just like last time, just like game 1, Temple Archives into High Templar. Storm never came into play. He does spot the move out. Oh. And I believe, yeah, he does see the early siege as well. Basically, Bunny, he's hoping to try to catch out the Stalkers. If the Observer wasn't there, then we would just face check and massive shots would be going off on the Stalkers. Classic, he does bypass the army, heads into the main. I'm getting deja vu. But this time, Bunny responds. Yeah, this time, Bunny, he responds to this. Stim! Stim is going to survive. Meanwhile, Bunny getting ready on the low ground. But he's not quite in position. He doesn't quite catch the Stalkers. Does beat out 1. It's 1 Stalker going down. Bunny, he could have set a trap here. But playing a safe 3rd CC. Okay, an expansion here. Now, Bunny, he knows that there's an Observer because he knows that the army blinked into the main. Yeah. Do we cancel? Oh, let's go! I was about to say, he knows there's an Observer. It's a fake CC. He does cancel. He sends it across the map. Let's go! And Classic, he expands. Classic, he does expand. Classic, he throws down the 3rd base. Storm is on the way. And Bunny, he's sending it, Pappy. Let's go. The mind games. Of course, Classic this time he's aware. And you can see he's slowing it down, chipping away at the Marines. So this time he has the high ground. Storm is done. 10 more seconds. And Storm is going to be done in time. Does force the early siege. Again, every second counts. And there we go. The first Storm on SCVs. There's another Storm on the Bio. Tank is getting targeted as Zelsay charge in. Yeah, they collapse on the army and Classic holds. Classic holds. There's only 1 tank left. And there's still another Storm. Yeah, the Storm is ready. It was a cheeky move there by Bunny, but again, Classic, he was able to slow it down, able to scout ahead of time. He was ready with the Storm timing. And remember, Classic from the beginning was already getting ready for an all-in. Like Classic, he was already delaying his 3rd base. As we mentioned, like this has been more trendy. Takes down a full medevac. And Bunny is being shut down. 1 medevac barely survives, getting into the main. There's 3 Marines and 1 tank and a medevac. That's all we have left. Army gets cleaned up, and Classic holds. He holds, he counterattacks as well, catching reinforcements. Still has Storms left over. Bunny, he has nothing left. Yeah, he's down to 1 tank, no bunkers, and barely any SCVs to pull anyway. So he cannot defend, he cannot protect. So the tank goes down. GG gets called, and Classic, he will take down Bunny 2-1, advancing on to the winners match. GG. Whew. And this is how game one should have gone. GG. GG, well played. Again, a Classic from the beginning was playing very, very safe, expecting an all-in. In the end, Bunny didn't meet those expectations. Again, we saw something similar in game one, and we saw so many differences as well, right? As opposed to game one, this time Classic, he forced Bunny to run his army back into the main, right? He was buying time, he was delaying the push, he was scouting it, he was able to chip away at it ahead of time as well. This time, Storm was on the way. If you remember, it might have actually been a mistake from Classic, actually, in game one. Because if you remember, in game one, Classic did have High Templar, and if you remember, he like feedbacked the medevac. It's possible that he thought that he already had Storm on the way. I didn't bring that up, but it's possible that he thought that he already had Storm on the way, and there was no Storm in game one, right? It never got researched. It's possible that it was forgotten, and here, of course, he was able to get it ahead of time and have it ready here for the push. So that may have been an oversight from Classic in game one, as he only had feedbacks. And with that, GG. With that, GG, well played. Classic, it does shut down the all-in, and Classic will advance on to face up against Zoun in the next round. Let's go. Let us go. I mean, I just kind of mentioned it here, but switching our scenes over, let's catch up on the bracket. Let's catch up on what has been happening throughout the group. Let's go. Here we go. As from the top here, Zoun, he had a crazy upset here. Cheesed the hell out of herO. Did cheese the hell out of him. And again, to be fair, like, I'm still thinking about that Tokamak game. herO was also, in a way, like, disrespecting the all-in of Zoun in game 3, when he went for the ninja base. I'm still thinking about that ninja base. God damn it. So Zoun did cause the upset there, taking down herO. Very impressive. Likewise, Classic took down Bunny 2-1. Was back and forth, was very intense. Also a short series. And now we have our matches here. It's going to be a winner's match between Zoun and Classic. It's going to be the elimination match between herO and Bunny. Let's go. Let us go. Here we go. Because Prism, before it's over, it can get some damage. I mean, ideally you don't want to, it's not about getting damage done when you're in that kind of setup. If you're referring to the last game, it's all about just being as safe as possible, as defensive as you can be. Here we go. Bappy, that was not a Terran push, that was a Terran all-in. Why are you clowning in the chat? He literally pulled the boys. True. Oh no. I think Kamikaze was watching a different game. But with that, we are going to be going on a short break. We're going to be heading off here, and when we come back, we'll be live with the remainder of the broadcast, with the winners match, elimination match, and decider match as well. So we're going to be going on a short break. When we come back, we'll have that PvP between Zoun and Classic. See you soon after the break. And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the second half of the broadcast. Welcome back to the GSL Global StarCraft League 2025 Season 2 Round of 8 Group B. We just wrapped up. We just wrapped up with our first two matches of the group. We just wrapped up with the first and second match, and now we're here to determine who will make it first out of Group B in first place into the semifinals. Let's go. We have another PvP ready for us here, and this is going to be an interesting one. I alluded to it earlier, where if you're watching Zoun versus herO, Zoun, he cheesed the hell out of herO. Like, it was non-stop either. I mean, it was a 2-base all-in and also a cannon rush, right? That's all we saw. That's all we saw out of Zoun. And Classic was watching. You know, Classic, he was watching. Classic, he was watching and observing the series, of course. And because of that, I'm sure Classic is going to be a little more aware of the aggressive tendencies here of Zoun. And this is where I'm concerned, right? This is where I would be concerned for Zoun, and this is where I would expect to see something different out of Zoun instead. Ideally, you don't want to rely on the same builds, you don't want to rely on the same strategies, because now Classic is a little more aware of what you're capable of. So we'll see. We'll see how Zoun does adapt to his new Protoss opponent. Let's go. Let us go as we're jumping into game number 1. Jumping to game 1. Game 1 is going to be on Tokamak. So cold back here, so cold. And spawning in the right-hand corner of Tokamak, we have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss representing Team Vitality. It is Zoun. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the red Protoss player. We have the South Korean Protoss representing Virtus Pro. It is Classic. Here we go. As we are jumping into our PvP. And for the most part, my eyes are going to be on Zoun to see how he does approach his opponent, to see if he, once again, does go for some proxies, does throw down extra gateways. This time, no Forge. no Forge, Pappy, no Forge. Do we see Zoun attempt a cannon rush Classic? I feel like he can't. I feel like that's something that you show once. You show once in a broadcast, in a tournament. I doubt we'll see it again, but we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. As for now, we are going to be setting up. Getting ready for our 2-gate opener. There we go, 2-gate opener here out of Zoun. Meanwhile, Classic going for a gate into Cybercore into expansion. So a much more greedier start here by Classic. Oh, never mind. Does go for the second gateway. Does go for the second gate. You can see Zoun is on patrol. Hoping to delay the expansion. We can see that it's still a 2-gate opener, but a delayed second gateway. And Zoun confirms. Zoun does confirm. If it wasn't for that probe movement and that probe in position, then I'm sure that Classic probably would have tried to have gone for a faster expansion. Again, it's one of those things where if you're familiar with PvP as of late, over the past 6 to 8 months, then you would know that the Korean scene has adopted these more greedy builds a lot more often. Meanwhile, we're both going for the proxy. Let's go! We have the proxy pylon on the left-hand side for Zoun and proxy pylon for Classic as well. Fun fact, Classic, he never scouted. Classic, he has no idea that the pylon is missing. Meanwhile, Zoun, he does. Zoun, he scouts and he knows there should be a second pylon in the main, and there is no pylon. The pylon is missing. The pylon is somewhere out on the map. So Zoun has that crucial information. Classic does not, and Classic is going for the 1-base all-in, is going for the proxy robot. At the same time, Zoun going for the proxy Stargate. This is not an all-in. This is a way to harass and deal economic damage. I am concerned for Zoun. I am concerned. We'll see who hits first. Classic does poke in, and Classic, he should confirm that the third pylon is not here. There's one, there's two, but there is no third pylon. Adepts are moving out. Stalkers as well. With this, we should be headed towards... I mean, with the initial Adepts, we could go Prism first, followed by Immortals. But what's important here is that if Classic doesn't scout, if he doesn't realize what's happening, then he may lose everything back at home. Like, that Oracle has a lot of potential, assuming we commit. Shield battery's on the way. There's that Oracle in production. Classic moving in. Oh. Shade is denied. Shield battery's in production. And there's that Prism. Again, the Prism is designed to allow Classic to actually get into the main, to bypass the ramp, bypass the wall. And he does have 2 Stalkers. Good read. Again, Classic, he knows. Like, he knows that there's a pylon missing. He knows that there must be a proxy. So he's playing safe. Stalkers are ready for the Oracle. So a solid read here from Classic. Does have the sentry as well. Classic busting into the main. The Immortal's on the way. Down, he does read this. And Classic, he shouldn't lose anything. He gets one, gets 2 probes. Doesn't save the Adepts, okay. Doesn't save them. They are going to go down. At least one of them. Yeah, the other is saved. The Oracle yet to dive in. We have a second Oracle on the way. Bearing in mind that 2 Oracles, they one-shot workers. And once again, he's checking. He does notice, of course, no Robo, no Stargate, no Twilight Council, no tech. There should be some tech here. So Classic, he should stay at home. I say that, he's now moving out. I mean, it's hitting late. Classic, he feels like he's free to push. And he's not. And remember, 2 Oracles, they one-shot workers. A shield battery is not enough to defend. There are 2 Stalkers. I don't know if that's going to be enough either. But that's still a terrifying army here for Classic. He has a massive force. Here we go. There are the 2 Oracles. They should dive in soon. Mortal has arrived. There we go. Oracles, they dive into the main. Classic does respond. Yeah, there's a defensive warp in. Oracles, they get 1. They get 2. Only 2. Only 2 workers. Zoun, he gets shut down. And Classic, he force field. The force field is brutal. Does catch 1. Does catch 2 Stalkers. The force field locks down Zoun, and Zoun's in trouble. Yeah, GG gets called down. He has nothing to defend. Zoun, he was heavily reliant on those Oracles. They failed to do damage, and Classic takes game number 1. Whew, GG. GG, well played. Again, risky play there by Zoun. He was gambling a lot on those Oracles. He was hoping that Classic would abandon his base, but he didn't. He did leave 2 Stalkers, and he had a Warpin available as well. With that, he shut down the Oracles, 0 damage, and he was just overwhelmed. He was just overwhelmed then and there. It was almost a hard counter, like Proxy Robo versus Proxy Stargate, just because one is all in, the other is not meant to be all in. And with that, Classic takes the lead. And now we're jumping into game number 2. Game 2 is going to be on Incorporeal. Whew. Let's go. Jumping to game 2 and spawning in the bottom hand corner of Incorporeal, we have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the Blue Protoss representing Team Vitality. It is Zoun. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Protoss player, the other South Korean Protoss, the Red Protoss, representing Virtus Pro. It is Classic. Go. So PvP is upon us. So PvP does continue. And do we go for another proxy? We might. Now, welcome to Incorporeal. The map is large. This is a larger map of the map pool. So, once again, if you remember, it did seem like Classic wanted to go for a faster expansion last game, but he was denied it because of the probe. We'll see if he does go for it this time. As both workers move out. And Classic is going to be scouting this time. Does move for scout. Looks like a 2-gate opener out of Classic, a 2-gate opener out of Zoun. So far, so good. Standard openers. Right now, the goal of these probes are to look for the second pylon. We're looking for the second pylon. If the pylon is missing, then we know it's proxied. If we spot it, then we know there is no proxy. So we have our Cyber Core. We should soon be seeing those pylons. There it is, second pylon for Classic, and a second pylon for Zoun. And again, both players, they scout each other, both players are aware, and now we can just calm down and settle in. Now, the next big moment here is going to be, one, the placement of the third pylon, but also the units of choice. Do we open up double Adept, double Stalker, Stalker Sentry, or Sentry Expand? Each one has its own kind of use, and now we have it. We have the answer: Stalker Sentry, safe opener out of Zoun, and Stalker Sentry out of Classic. This is the standard way to open up. This allows you to scout early on. Again, especially with the change to the energy overcharge, the Sentry can see everything with hallucination. So safe openers from both players, and we're calming down and expanding. Looks like game 1 with both players going for the proxy. We've gotten the proxies out of our system. We got it out. Now we can lock in. Oh, as we do see Classic going for an extra wave of reinforcements, he does make 2 more Stalkers. I mean, he's forced to because of the pylon, true. Forced to make more Stalkers. The pylon block is brutal, and Zoun expands as there was no pylon block from Classic. So Zoun, he does have a faster economy, a stronger economy. Meanwhile, what does Classic have? A larger army with more Stalkers. And he's pushing. Right, he has to make use of these Stalkers in some way, so he does move out with 3 Stalkers and a Sentry. Zoun back at home, he will have a weaker army. He needs that shield battery. Shield battery's on the way. Hallucination, I believe, yep, did see a glimpse of the army. Zoun knows. And it's gonna be a clutch hold here for Zoun. With force fields and with the shield battery, he can defend. Oh, I'm loving the hallucinations. Okay. Classic is gonna tank some shots. But the shield battery is done. And Zoun should be fine. Danny should be fine here. Oh, hello. As Classic, he does veer off with a hidden pylon. Okay. Both players do. Twilight Council opener out of Zoun. This means that this could be a proxy Dark Shrine. We could commit to a Dark Shrine. Otherwise, this could just be a way to reinforce across the map. Both players working towards Blink. Here comes that initial hallucination. There it is. Dark Shrine for Zoun. Again, there's no reason to proxy without Dark Shrine. Wait, we're mirroring each other. Let's go. DT versus DT. Now, it is not uncommon in this matchup to delay your Robo. It's not uncommon to delay your Robo until after your 3rd base. And especially here, when we go Twilight Council into Forge, there's not going to be a Robo for anyone. This is about to get rowdy. Now, we do have a Forge. Okay, Forge on the way for Zoun. This is for +1, but this does mean that Zoun has access to cannons. He can throw down some cannons, and cannons can win in the game. Remember, 0 detection for Classic. And there is potential detection for Zoun. So depending on where the DTs go, right? If the DT hits the natural first and doesn't go straight into the main, then we could see cannons here in the mineral line. And that would be enough to defend. So far, no one scouts each other. Hallucination's moving in. There's the Forge. Classic is aware. And he should know that that Forge is going to be a threat to him. Classic gets a 3rd. Again, no Robo. No Robo for anyone. No Observer. Here comes the Dark Templar. DTs are warping in for Zoun. And Classic is a couple of seconds late. Also getting Dark Templar. And again, does Classic get into the main base? If he can get into both bases, he can ensure there are no cannons. If he fails to, then cannons can finish. It's going to be very close. DTs are getting into the main. Forge on the way. Classic should lose everything here. And Zoun, does he notice? Up! Does he notice? No, no force field. He doesn't notice. He doesn't notice. We do have the DT here in the natural. DT's in the main. Probes are going down, and we should deny cannons. At least in the bases, boys are being pulled away. Dark Templar everywhere. But there we go. Cannons on the way. Oh no! Let's go. Proxy cannons, and this can win him the game. Cannons are on the way. That's what's important to protect the production. DTs they depower everything in the bases, and we're coming to the base trade. We're just going for the base trade. Now the Forge here is being proc. So we saw the Forge on the way for Classic. Classic's still mining. He's still mining, which means he can also afford cannons as well. Let's go. Meanwhile, the main army is also being chipped away at from the side of Zoun. We do see Classic is trying to hunt down the main army as well. Trying to hunt him down. Yep, does dive in. Gets a Stalker. Nice pick up. Takes down a Stalker. Cannons are revealed. Classic gets it back up. No, he's locked out. He's locked out. That's going to be 3 DTs falling. Massive loss there. Cannons are on the way. Can he save the cannons? It's going to be close. It's going to be close. Does get us around. More DT. Jeez, there's so many Dark Templar. So many Dark Templar. Ay, ay, ay. And I think Zoun's done it. Zoun, I think he's done it here as Stalkers are falling left and right. The first cannon is denied. That's a kill. And that's another kill as well. There's one cannon finishing, but it's going to be targeted. And Zoun has done it. Zoun, he kills all the detection. And that's game. That's game then and there. The cannons won it for Zoun. True. He beat herO with cannons. He's beating Classic with cannons as well. Yeah. As Classic, he has no mining. He has no mining. He has no economy. Neither does Zoun. But remember, Zoun, he's re-expanding. Wow, he's re-expanding. He has the money for a Nexus. And Classic, he sees. Yeah, he sees a Nexus. He knows. He knows he cannot stop this. He cannot stop this. He cannot win this. Can he force a draw? Unfortunately, he has no cannons to defend his bases. So yeah, GG. GG gets called. Zoun, he will tap the series 1-1. We are going to the ace match. Whew. GG. Oh my god. GG, well played. Again, the faster forge was the MVP there for Zoun. Zoun, he was able to get those cannons up and running at the proxy, and that did allow him to catch out the DTs, and that did allow him to win the game. Whew, GG. GG, well played. Very clutch there with those cannons, very clutch, and very important that he was able to get that forge when he did. Classic, he was late with his forge, he never got it up, and the cannons barely did not finish in time. Barely not. GG. GG, well played. With that, we're now getting into the ace match. We'll see how this story ends. We'll see where this takes us. Again, so far, very chaotic series. I mean, I say that all the PvPs tonight have been very chaotic. Even the TvP as well. A lot of aggression. We have yet to see a single macro game tonight. Will we ever? I don't think so. I'll be honest, I don't think so. Spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Pylon, we have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss representing Team Vitality. It is Zoun. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have the South Korean Protoss player, the red Protoss representing Virtus Pro. It is a Classic. We go. As we are settling in and calming down. Whew, oh boy. And again, it's been a very intense night of StarCraft, and a very short night of StarCraft as well, to be honest. I mean, the games have been short, which I'm not opposed to. We've been struggling when it comes to sleep as of late, so not opposed to it. Initially, two gate opener out of both players. Two gate opener out of both Classic and Zoun. And from here, we'll see where our players take us. Oh, we're still looking for the pylon, true. And it looks like Classic is going to be cheeky. He's going to hide his second pylon in his own natural. This is something that Terran players do with their Raxes, where they can hide their first Rax at their natural or their third base location. Similarly here as well. Classic does hide the pylon, making it look like he's proxying, making it look like he's cheesing. We know it's anything but Zoun doesn't. Zoun is his own pylon in the main. Classic, he hasn't even scattered. He has no idea what's going on, but he soon will. Oh, never mind. I mean, this also leads into the idea that there's a proxy, is the fact that because there's no probe scouts, Zoun, he believes that probe has to be doing something nefarious, has to be doing something shady. So Zoun, he's searching. Yeah, he's searching for the pylon, he's searching for the proxy that doesn't exist. Second probe moves out. Now we have the delayed scout from Classic again, intentionally so, to make it look like the probe was doing something else. Does confirm the pylon. So Classic confirms that there is no proxy he's up against, and Zoun is still searching. So he's still searching, still looking. Meanwhile, Classic just expands. Classic with the fake out, he just expands, takes his natural. From here, just saturating up, or just building up. And Zoun, he has yet to really confirm what's going on. Okay, he has seen. Okay, now he's aware. He's aware of the base, and he's going for an all-in. Yeah, Zoun going for the proxy pylon. This should be for a gateway. Stargate opener as well. Interesting. But again, the pressure is on Zoun. As Zoun, he has no expansion. He is going all-in. He's going for the all-in. The Stargate opener coinciding with the all-in is kind of weird. It's, yeah, it's kind of a weird choice. It's going for the Oracle, and the Oracle can harass. but I don't know if that's going to be enough. Classic trying to keep up. The Adepts, they did confirm that there's no expansion. So there we go, more Shield Barriers on the way. Robo response out of Classic. Robo with the Immortal production is going to be ideal. So Classic, he's walling up. He's fortifying himself. So we do have another gateway. I believe that's 4. Yeah, so it's going to be a 1-base 4-gate all in at a Zoun. The Oracle's making its way across the map towards the main. Oh, nice, very nice force fields. Oh my god, locks down 3 of those Stalkers. And again, there's no blink, there's no prism. The Stalkers are trapped, they do go down. Massive pickups. At the same time, Oracle into the main. Ooh, and probes are going down. Getting 4 probes so far. Oh, that's not just the pylon. The pylon is exposed. Can we save it? Oh my god, it's so close to the pylon. It is going to get sniped. One more volley. The shield battery comes in clutch. The pylon survives. And that's going to be a hold. That's going to be a hold. Classic, he shuts down the army. He devoted so much to killing the pylon. The pylon lives. And with that, Classic, the bait was real. Classic, he shuts down the main army. Oracle Adept into the main. 10 probes are going down, but that doesn't matter. Remember, Classic, he's up a base. He's up an expansion. Boys are being pulled. Adepts are cleaned up. And Zoun, he's falling behind. He's falling behind here. His win condition was to snipe that pylon, but he didn't get it. Barely not. And now Zoun's in a rough position. Again, there's just no expansion. He's stuck on a 1-base economy. The longer this goes on, the worse it is for Zoun. Classic is down in probes, true, but he can make 2 probes at a time. Like, he can resaturate. Once again, Classic overreacts. Oh my god, Classic out of position. That should not have happened. Yeah, that should not have happened. Does juggle over. Pylon goes down, but at this point there's already the Immortal, right? At this point it's too late. The Immortal is out, so the Prism is out as well. Prism could even just siege up to repower everything. Brutal force fields. GG gets called, and Classic, he will shut down the all-in. He will claim the series and be the first to make it through into the semi-finals. GG. Whew. GG, well played. A very intense series here. Again, non-stop aggression from both players, and it was a really quirky all-in out of Zoun is what I will say. It's not common to see a 1-base all-in with a Stargate with the Oracle, just because the Oracle doesn't really help too much. The Oracle can harass, as we saw with killing probes, but doesn't really help when it comes to breaking an expansion. And we saw that, again, opposed to a Stargate, we could see a Robo, we could see Immortals, we could see a Warp Prism instead. So a bit of an awkward all-in there from Zoun. There was still potential, and we saw him almost take down that pylon. If he was able to pull that off, especially with that force field on the ramp, then he could have won the game. But alas, he barely wasn't able to get it. Again, shout out to Classic, of course, for retargeting his shield batteries, for saving the pylon as well. Just barely able to save it in time. And even though eventually it went down, by then it was too late. By then, he had already reaped the rewards of that Robo with the Prism, with the Immortal. GG. GG, well played. With that, Classic, he does advance on into the semis, and we are here to determine the first player to be knocked out of the group. As up next, we have a TVP between herO and Bunny. Let's go. herO and Bunny, they're going to be facing off here in that elimination match to determine which of these 2 players is out of GSL. If you're a fan of Zoun, don't you worry, Zoun, he's waiting for the winner of this very series. As we're jumping into game 1, game 1 is going to be on Tokamak. Jumping into game 1. See in the chats, are these games live? These games were played a couple of days ago. They were played less than a week ago. And of course, we are catching up with them here and now. As was mentioned in the chat, the cast is live. And here we go, spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Tokamak. We have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the red Protoss representing Twisted Minds. It is herO. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the blue Terran player. We have the South Korean Terran representing Team Falcons. It is Bunny. Here we go. So we are going to be settling in. And Bunny has been doing non-stop all-ins tonight. Non-stop back. Did do so against Classic earlier, of course. Did do so against Classic. And of course, here he's very well versed in the current meta of StarCraft. I mean, he was here for the beginning of it in regards to Cure versus herO in the finals of GSL. Again, GSL Season 1 is when kind of we saw the rise in prominence of 2-base all-ins and TVP. That was like almost 2 months ago at this point. So it's been like a recent change, a recent shift in meta. And Double Gas to open out of Bunny. Now, I'm a little bit surprised. If you recall, Tokamak was, I think, the only map where Bunny went for an economic opener against Classic, just because the map is so large. So I do like this. Like, the mind games are real. The probe scout is denied, and again, herO, for all he knows, it could be a single gas opener into a CC, or it could be double gas. And based on what he saw against Classic, there's a higher chance that it's going to be a faster economy. Ooh. That shouldn't have happened. Okay, kills the SCV. Yeah, brutal pickup. herO does kill the SCV, so a nice start here from herO. And we'll see how greedy herO is. Again, does he fall for it? Does he believe that Bunny is expanding? Or does he believe that he's going for the factory? So factory is halfway done. herO does pull away. Now from here we're going Reaper first. We're going actually double Reaper. Okay, so no reactor here on the ranks. Likewise, no fast tech lab. Opening up double Reaper, and he might even reinforce with the Hellion. Yeah, okay, so it's going to be Reaper Hellion. Now, the goal here is to try to gain map control and try to deal some early game harassing damage, ideally getting into a mineral line and getting some probe kills. So Reaper Hellion builds to dive into mineral lines and kill workers. Meanwhile, Twilight Council open out of herO. Hallucination moves out. After the Hellions, we're waiting for the add-ons here, as we should be seeing a Starport. Starport is on the way. We're getting up to a second Hellion, and then from here we should be going for a Tech Lab, and this might be lined up for an add-on swap. Reaper Hellion gets scouted. Yeah, big moment here for herO. He knows. I should be walling up. Yeah, it should be walling up at the natural. As no add-on, going for a Widowmine drop follow-up. Army moves out. herO, he has a wall in the main, and likewise, he is walled up here at the natural as well. So again, solid scouting out of herO and solid reaction, solid response. Island is under fire. herO, he has to react. And as herO moves out of position, here come the Hellions. Yeah, Hellions, they bust into the natural. They hand 2 shots. There's the first volley, there's a second. 2 probes going down. Nice start. Oh, does get into the main. And again, herO out of position. The wall was open. herO pulling a bit of a hero. So far, losing up to 3 probes. Not a bad start here for Bunny. Getting 3 probes and maybe a 4th. Oh, does get 4. 4 probes to 2 Hellions. Nice start. Bearing in mind, the Reapers are still alive. Reapers, they are still alive. And this was worth it for Bunny. Again, herO, he had the tools to defend, but he was distracted by the Reapers. That was on herO. And behind this, we're getting to our own 3-1-1 setup. Yeah, Tech Labs are now on the way. Hallucination does confirm. Does confirm Tech Labs on both the Starport and the racks, sorry, and the factory, and also the additional racks. And herO, double gas, Robo. We spoke about this during the Classic series, if you recall, but this has been a lot more trendy as of late. This has been a shift in the meta. A lot of people have been concerned about all-ins in TVP because there has been a rise of them. Oh, what am I? Oh no! Oh, it does pull away. Oh my god, just barely in time. That was so close, so clutch. What am I drop here into the main? And herO, he does pull away in time, and he does defend. But again, 2-base all-ins have been very trendy, so we have seen more and more Protoss players open up like this. Open up 2-base, take their gases, Robo before expanding. In the past, when I say in the past, I mean 3 months ago even. 3 months ago, it was more common to go 2-gate blink into a 3rd, or even 3-gate blink into a 3rd, but the meta has been shifting because of the prominence of all-ins, and now Protoss players are being safer. They're just being safer here and finding a little more success with that. Meanwhile, all-ins have been less successful. So again, playstyles have been changing. We spoke about this during the podcast actually last week about how TVP has changed the most out of all the matchups over the past like 3 months. There's been a lot of changes back and forth and back again. Stalkers, they dive into the mineral line, they get an SCV. Oh, Prism taking a lot of hits. Oh, that should not have happened. Prism almost goes down. Yeah, a bit of miscontrol there from herO, as he does pull away. And herO, he is not opening up Storm, he's opening up 2-base Colossus. Okay, the bait is done. Colossus are amassing. Again, herO, he delayed his 3rd base in favor of Charge, in favor of Colossus. And Bunny, does he send it across the map? Does he commit to the 2-base all-in? He's waiting for his upgrades, waiting for Stim, Combat Shields +1. herO, he didn't achieve too much with his harass. And Bunny, we're gearing up. And Bunny, as he pushes, 3rd CC. 3rd CC hidden in the main. I do appreciate this. So basically, this is almost like a fake out. He is pushing, don't get me wrong, but he's expanding. You're getting ready for it. Does slow it down. And again, Bunny, he shouldn't commit. Across the map, gets a couple of probes. Auto charge harass into the natural. And we haven't seen a macro game yet tonight. That might change here and now, because we're getting ready for a longer game state. Yeah, Bunny, again, he's only posturing. He has no intention to commit across the map. He pulls away, and he throws down extra Raxes. Extra Raxes here. 3rd expansion, we're gearing up into a longer game. Meanwhile, herO, coming into this, now is in a really rough position. Remember, herO, he was blindly getting ready for an all-in that isn't coming, which means now hero's falling behind economically. Like, he has less workers, or I should say, he has an equivalent amount of workers when he should be ahead of base and ahead a mineral line. Bunny in a solid position. Looking good. As he will soon land his 3rd. So we are building up. Now, because herO invested so heavily into his army early on, he has to make use of it. And I do think this is the right call to delay the expansion, right? To move out and to contain Bunny for as long as possible on 2 bases. So he moves out, he pulls away. 3rd base has yet to be taken. You see herO now moving out with 3 Colossus. Ooh, and this is going to be a tough hold. It's going to be a tough hold here for Bunny. Again, there's 3 Colossus waiting for him. Swipes going up. Gets a fake 4th Colossus. Let's go. The Prism is quite low. Ooh, as the army does dive in. Yeah, there's 2 tanks behind this. Colossus swipes, they go up on the buyer. Tanks are being targeted. He gets 1. The Vikings have arrived. And with that, Bunny, he is holding. Yeah, he's holding on. The tanks, they shut down the ground army. And here he has to get the hell out of here. He has to pull away. Does save the Colossus, but he doesn't really have much support. Yeah, there's not much support here. Has to pull back. And Bunny holds. Bunny holds. We're getting into a longer game. 3rd base is fully saturated. herO, his 4th base is late. This is a late 4th. The 4th should have been here a minute ago. So Bunny, he's ahead. Bunny, he has a better economy. He now has the better army as well. herO's in a rough position. Again, he was hoping to delay the 3rd, but he failed to do so. He wasn't able to delay. Only moving out. Oh. Catching the mineral line. Probe's going to be falling. Not bad. Catching out 6 probes. And he does outposition herO. herO pushing up the ramp. Ooh. Missile goes off. Brutal connection. And herO, how can he engage? Oh. Never goes off. Grazes the army. Disruptor goes down. Robe is exposed. Yeah, and herO, he kind of pushed into this. Bunny popping up here. Again, the one game doesn't all in. And again, he kind of faked herO out. He did fake him out. Vikings, they move forward. They take down the Colossus. Colossus goes down. Novas, they do not get friendly fire. And Bunny, he's just snubbling out of control. Snubbling out of control here, diving into the main. herO, he cannot keep up. Zelda falling left and right. Bust into the middle line, 33 probe kills. And even if this army gets cleaned up, it's not enough. It's not enough, and the army does escape. Ooh. 3 medevacs to make it out, and herO, he's just being torn apart here. And again, I really do like this adaptation out of Bunny. It's just, you know what if I didn't 2-base all in? So yeah. And And here he was blindly countering an all-in that never arrived, right? An all-in that never happened. So again, here just, again, misreading or just making assumptions that never really came to reality. Lack of scouting. I think I would say that, actually. Because if Hero had seen the faster third TC, then he would have known. And it would have gone a faster expansion. But here we go, it's all or nothing. He's all in. Never's going off. Bunny, he's across the map, actually. Uh-oh. I mean, here, he has to end the game. He has to end the game here and now. Takes down the SCVs. He's bleeding out Stalkers. With reinforcements, Bunny should have enough. Yeah, he comes back home. Comes back home, stims in. Ooh, takes down the Colossus. And cleans up Hero. GG gets called. Bunny, he will take game number 1. Whew. GG. GG, well played. Bunny does take a lead in the series. Again, Hero, he failed to scout the third base. If he had seen the third base in the main, then he most likely would have backed off and expanded and gotten a fourth. Gotten a faster fourth base. If you remember, the fourth base wasn't thrown down until after the failed push at the third. So really nice fake out here from Bunny. And we spoke about how the meta is adapting. We spoke about how the meta is adjusting here. Talking about how for a very long time, I mean, for the past month, I would say, like, it's been very prominent, very prevalent to go for these 2-base all-ins, and Bunny did do nothing but 2-base all-in against Classic. True, but which is why I appreciate that he's mixing it up here, right? He's mixing it up, does go for a fake out instead, and GG, well played. Does fake out Hero. Here we go. Hero's doing so much today. I mean, again, as we mentioned, it's a little bit, I would say a little bit of overconfidence in both series. If you're watching the games, if you were, I mean, we were mentioning it, when it came to Zoun, Hero, he wasn't really respecting Zoun's all-in. And Hero just assumed that Bunny was all-in. Like, that, like, kind of, again, a bit of, I would say, overconfidence from our Protoss player. But now we're getting into our next game, and spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Torches, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the Blue Terran representing Team Falcons, leading the series 1-0. It is Bunny. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the South Korean Protoss player, the Red Protoss, representing Twisted Minds. It is Hero. So again, Hero, we gotta lock in. We cannot assume what our players are doing. We gotta scout. Gotta go to read what's going on. I mean, that's also how Hero plays, right? He is often taking chances, taking risks. That's what makes Hero a strong player. That's what makes him unpredictable. But here, again, having a hard time reading both Zoun and Bunny. Or I guess reading Bunny and, again, didn't quite respect what he saw from Zoun. Because he did scout Zoun. That's the difference. Did scout him. But welcome to Torches. Interesting. Welcome to Torches. Torches is the second most vetoed map of the map pool. Last Fantasy is the most vetoed. Torches thereafter. So we rarely get to see maps on Torches or games on Torches. Torches has a short rush distance by ground and a short rush distance by air. So aggression is heavily favored here on Torches. As you see here, looking to delay. Oh, that did scout an economic... Wait, economic opener? Oh, okay, interesting. Bunny opening up Racks Expand. Does open up with a single gas geyser. And does open up economically. Interesting to see this on Torches, not gonna lie. From here, Hero can respond with Greed himself. Now, as a reminder, just because the opener is standard, the opener is economic, doesn't mean that we can't still turn this into a 2-base all-in. It does mean that early on, you know, tech is a little bit less accessible, true, but that is the tech lab first. Ooh, did Hero scout? Did not see the tech lab. So early tech, so Marine first, early tech lab into add-on swap into, we can go into early Cyclone. We can even rush into early tank, which would be crazy. What do you have for us? What do you have for us? Is there an echo? Is there an echo? Oh. Might be on your end, but I would hope that maybe someone else can respond. But now though, it is going to be a Twilight Council opener. Twilight Council here out of Hero. Going for a standard start. It is going to be initial Cyclone here from Bunny. Does a Cyclone, getting into a zone 1-1-1. And we'll see if he goes into an add-on soul from here. Let's say poke in. They poke in, they pull away. And here he is playing safe, going for the Robo before expanding. Interesting. We'll see if he takes his gases. We'll keep an eye on the gases. We'll see how safe here is going to be. Behind this, no add-on soul, going into a Mind Drop play. Okay. Going for a Widow Mind Drop. Again, short rush distance by air. Makes sense. Going for the Widow Mines. We'll soon move out. So we're calming down, so we're just keeping eyes on each other. Here comes the initial drop. Here he does take his gases. Okay, he's taking his gases. With this here, he might even go for a Bay or a Templar Archives before expanding, as he's going to have a lot of gas to work with. So once again, just really safe play out of herO. We saw something similar last game. And again, last game, here he just misread the all-in, an all-in that didn't happen. My job does borrow, does focus on one Widow Mine, but the other will go off. Ooh. Whew. Clutch response. Here he holds, he defends. Ooh, takes out the medevac. Very nice defense here by herO. Solid defense at the same time, he gets across the map, gets two SCVs. Only two. But overall, a stronger start for herO. Behind this, we're waiting to see what tech we go into. So far, still just 3-gate blink is moving out, and herO is looking to expand and going into charge first. Okay. Now, the goal of these Stalkers should just be to contain the Terran. Tank is in position, no bunker. But the tank is ready. herO, he keeps warping in. He delays his third base in favor of these warp-ins. We'll see what he can get done. Again, the Observer does see the setup. He does notice no tanks. Sorry, he does notice no bunker, I should say. And does dive on the tank. Yeah, first tank goes down. And Bunny, he's just under-defended here. Without a bunker, the natural's just so open. And this is getting out of hand. This is just becoming too much. Yeah, boys are being pulled. Marines are going down. Even breaks the lock-on. And here it can just keep going. Now, I mean, this bunker is just so late. It's such a late bunker. Bunny was being greedy. And he's being punished. He's just being punished for that greed. There we go. He does dive in, takes down the tank. And now it's zero tanks. Zero tanks left. Zero Cyclones either. Purely vanilla Marines. And here he can just bully this army. He can just bully. Just keep pushing in. Another tank has arrived. The tank should hold. At the same time, auto harass in the main. Late reaction. Ooh, late reaction out of herO. Gonna be 7 probe kills here at the same time, focusing on his push. Does not get the tank. Uh-oh. Doesn't get the tank. Oh, barely will. Just barely. And clutch moves out of herO. And just going for the warp in the face of his buddy. He's crazy. Yeah, the Prism does get sniped. And Bunny holds. Bunny, he's holding on, but at a cost. Bunny losing so many tanks here. 3 tanks to go down. But he holds. He holds. He survives. Behind this here, he does have a third. But here his macro has been slipping. It's been slipping. The Raven got a lot of damage. Bunny at this point has a greater economy. Oh. As this is a risky move out of Bunny. herO with intercept. He's gonna catch him. Yeah, he's gonna catch him out. Ay, ay, ay. A brutal loss. Prism has arrived. Medevac cannot escape. Full Medevac goes down. And now Bunny expands. It is a late response here, a late expansion from the side of Bunny, but he's going for it. Let's go for the CC. Charge has been done for quite some time. herO looking to push in once again. This time there's 2 tanks and a bunker. It's going to be more difficult, but there are barely any Marines. True. There's only 4. Only 8, I should say. First tank gets targeted. Second tank as well. Yeah, both tanks go down. That Immortal doing so much damage. Takes down both tanks, pulls away. And once again, just keeping the tank out low. Bunny just having a hard time stabilizing. Down to 0 tanks. He has no more tank production, by the way. Just purely Marine Marauder. And the bunker. Scan reveals saturation. herO on full 3 bases. Dropping into the main. There's not much in position. Yeah, getting more SCV kills. Likewise, here he does see the third base, so he knows that Bunny isn't going for an all-in. He knows that Bunny is macroing, so here is safe. He's safe to do what? To get a bay. To work towards a bay, Colossus, saturate his third, work towards a 4th expansion. Here just getting further ahead. And again, a lot of this came down to the fact that Bunny skipped his first bunker. He skipped the first bunker, he got punished for it, and everything just snowballed from there. Bunny, he was just a little bit too greedy. I don't blame him. Winding it back a little bit here, Blinkstalker aggression is not really seen too often on torches. The reason for this is because there's no way into the main, right? There's no way to blink from the low ground into the main base, so you can only harass the natural, which is open, but there's only one kind of point of aggression or point of attack. So that's why we often don't see blink aggression. But herO, when he saw an opening, he just went for it. Just went for it. With the Observer, he just saw how little there was. And he did punish Bunny. Did punish him. Likewise, Prism dropping in. They'll take down a couple of SCVs. Creates an opening. herO, he's now aware of the expansion. He's rotating in. What do we have to defend? A decent bio army. But here he has a Colossus. The Colossus is ready. Again, this area is just so wide open. This sword is so exposed. Has control, takes down the Widow Mines. Oh. Observer does go down. Scan reveals a Colossus. herO just waiting for reinforcements. Again, getting his 4th base behind this. herO poking in. Yeah, and Bunny, he's got to pull the boys. Like, it's just so difficult to take a fight here. Boys are being pulled, Vikings, they pop off. They do what they can, but all the SCVs are falling. And now he's getting on top of the main army. Does take down one Colossus. One Colossus goes down, but oh god, it's just not enough. GG gets called. Bunny, he is overwhelmed, and herO ties up the series 1-1. We are going to the ace match. Whew, GG. GG, well played. Again, herO, he was able to scout, able to see that Bunny was cutting corners, and did punish him, able to break that natural early on. Remember, there was no bunker, the tanks were exposed, and once he started getting the ball rolling, once he sniped the first 2 tanks, he just kept going, kept abusing that natural. Yes, at the same time, herO, he was losing probes across the map, and he didn't have the best economy himself, but he dealt enough damage to the point where Bunny couldn't counterattack. Remember, he was already done with tank production, he lost all of his tanks, he was forced to throw down a 3rd CC. And when he saw that, then of course herO had to go ahead to just expand, take up, take over the map. GG. GG, well played. And with that, we're now getting into the ace match. We're jumping into Maganatha. Let's go. Whew, let us go. Some reasons why live channel I'm mid-screen. Oh, there you go. I was about to say that if you hear an echo, then you might have like us open somewhere else. But thankfully it was resolved. Thankfully. As we're getting into the ace match and spawning in the top left-hand corner of Maganatha, we have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the red Protoss representing Twisted Minds. Tying up the series 1-1, forcing the ace match. It is herO. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Terran player, the blue Terran representing Team Falcons. It is Bunny. We go. Thanks for the cast. Also, what's the story behind your nickname? If you're referring to the CranKy Ducklings, it's a long story. It's a long story. If you're an old school viewer of StarCraft from back in like in the Heart of the Swarm, at least from back in Heart of the Swarm, I guess even before that a little bit as well. You might be familiar with Axiom. If you're familiar with Axiom Esports, if you're familiar with Total Biscuit, he had a team called Axiom Esports, and the team captain of Axiom Esports was Crank, was a pro player called Crank, a South Korean pro called J1 Choi, papi. Actually, I have his keyboard. Esther J1 Choi. And we initially, when I say we, I mean the people, the founders of the CranKy Ducklings, we were all a part of his stream. He used to stream in English. This is back in like 2013, 2014. He used to stream in English. Standard opener, double gas, he had a bunny. But he used to stream back in English, back on Twitch. He also used to be partnered with Nvidia and used to stream on their channel as well. And he used to have a big following. I think infamously some of his big videos on YouTube was he won a game of Hearthstone and StarCraft 2 at the same time, where he was like constantly like alt tabbing between the two. I remember that was a big video that blew up for Crank, winning Hearthstone and SC2 at the same time. Yeah, so he used to stream. Of course, things happened. Unfortunately, you know, Total Biscuit did pass away, and Axiom, of course, did disband. I think that was actually just slightly before his passing. And Crank, he of course had to make a hard decision there as to what he wanted to do, and he did decide to stop streaming in English. He started to stop streaming. He started to he decided to focus on the Korean side of things and to focus on casting and streaming Korean instead. And if you know anything about the current StarCraft 2 scene, you would know that currently Crank, I mean, he became very successsul. He's the biggest caster in Korea. Like right now, he's the biggest like streamer, biggest caster in regards to StarCraft 2 in Korea. Like Crank, he's the one. He's the one. So very successful, like currently nowadays. But back in the day, we were his fans, and we were like, well, what do we do now? it's like, you know, we kind of want to, you know, still be active in StarCraft and do things our own way. And in the end, we did decide to kind of create our own organization, and we started hosting tournaments. Initially, we started hosting tournaments for a little more of a Korean-centric time zone as well. And in honor and to pay tribute to Crank, because we all started from his community, we called ourselves the CranKy Ducklings. That's why it's CranKy in kind of honor of Crank. The reason why we're the Ducklings is because Crank, for his stream, his mascot was a duck. His mascot was he had like a little duck plushie. It was a duck. So it's all in reference to Crank. It's one reference. He has no affiliation when it comes to our team, when it comes to our organization. It's just, you know, a tribute to Crank and to Axiom and to all that. And we started the CranKy Ducklings back in 2017. I think CranKy stopped streaming in English in 2016. I think it was around like 2016-ish era of StarCraft. 16, 17, something like that. Around that time. So we've been around for a long time. Meanwhile, Bunny going to be opening up with his 1-round drop. As a reminder, so winding it back, thankfully there wasn't anything too crazy going on. Double gas opener, initially double gas opener into interesting Cyclone into early tank production. 1-round drop does come in. So far getting getting 3 probes, nothing major. 3 workers do go down, and once again here he does open up safely. He does open up 3-gate blink into gases into a robo before expanding. Still does expand, but again this base is delayed in favor of the robo, in favor of the gateways, in favor of the initial setup. So safe style here out of herO. From here is now expanding, taking his 3rd. Welcome to Maganatha. Maganatha is the largest map in the map pool. So long rush distance by ground, but with the initial setup here from Bunny, I'm not ruling out an all-in. It's still going to be available here to Bunny. For now, working on the eBay, working on +1. Stim is on the way. We'll see what he does when all these upgrades line up. Oh. Does go for an earlier add-on swap. So he's cutting tank production at 2. Okay, so only 2 tanks. This means that Bunny might expand. He might get a 3rd CC. Now, what's important here about herO, this is not the same style that we saw in Game 1. if you remember in game 1, herO, he just now was getting his third base. If you remember, herO, he got to Bay first. He got to Bay, and he started Colossus production before claiming his third. So here, he delayed his third even further. This time, he's getting a slightly faster third base, which is going to be ideal if Bunny does decide to play macro out of this. Remember, one of the big failings of herO in game 1 was that he overreacted to the all-in, and an all-in that never happened. So he fell behind, right? Like herO, he fell behind, he kind of misread the game, and it was just overly defensive and overly safe. Here, herO, he's focusing a little bit more on his economy. Storm is halfway done. And there it is, third TC. So this is a much better setup here for herO compared to game 1. Here, he does get an earlier third base, earlier saturation, and it's coinciding with the third from Bunny. Bunny is expanding. And checking the observer, herO, he sees. Yeah, he sees. herO, he scouts. This time he is fully aware of the third, so he knows that Bunny's not all in. We read this earlier because Bunny cut tanks at 2. Like with a low tank count, you can't really commit to an all-in like this. But herO is fully aware. We still have drop play, don't get me wrong. Bunny's being active, but herO knows he can safely expand, saturate his third, take gases, and even get a fourth base. Again, remember, in game 1, herO, he didn't even see the third. Like, he didn't know what was happening. This time, he's aware of everything. So we do see herO, he's a little more attentive to scouting, a little more attentive to what his opponent's up to. He's not just blindly trying to hard counter something. Not this time. What I'm saying is, herO, he's locked in, Pappy. He's locked in. As here comes the third. And again, we're gearing up into a longer game state. herO, I will say this fourth base is a little bit late. We should have one soon. Basically, as the Terran takes a third, the Protoss ideally wants to get their fourth. And there we go. Fourth is on the way. Mine drop here into the main. Nice blink control. Avoids the mine. We'll shut this down. Always want to know the story behind your name too. Ah, there you go. There you go. I mean, there's a little bit more as well when it comes to the story, I guess. You know, one of the reasons why we started the CranKy Ducklings as well, like, that's the reason behind the name, but the reason why we started was because back in the day, we were in charge of, we still are, I guess, we were in charge of the unofficial StarCraft Esports Twitter account. And for every tournament, for Pro League, for GSL, we would always post whenever an event would go live. And we noticed something, because we were keeping, we also started like a calendar. We did a lot of like work in StarCraft before the CranKy Ducklings as well. But we did notice that there were some tournaments for some regions, but not for others. Specifically at the time, there were amateur tournaments for the NA and for the European region, but there weren't any for the Korean or Southeast Asian region. So that was our first tournaments that we started, is we first started amateur tournaments for like the Southeast Asian / Korean time zone. Just because we noticed like there was like a hole there and there wasn't anything being done. That's why we started the Sea Duckling Open. True, Sea Duckling Open. At the time, it was going to be like an Olima League Code A, but we decided against it to do our own branding. Zelarame does, oh Jesus, A10 SCV is going to be going down. Bunny completely out of position. Yeah, the Zelarame does 12 off. Zealot's in the main, Zealot's at the third. Oh, sorry, Zealot's at the natural. Zealot's at third base. 13 SCV kills. Bunny gets forced away back, and here he has gained map control. Now he's pushing. What does herO have? He's got a Colossus. He's got 6 High Templar. He's got Mass Storm. He's got all the storms. Now pushing forward. Does feedback. Storm doesn't quite connect. As here he's not really gaining much ground. Takes a mine shot to the face, but despite that, SCVs are still falling. That was still 14 SCVs going down in total. And here from here can just back off. Like, he doesn't have to commit. He can back off. More Colossus are amassing. Bunny trying to get ready here for a surround. Setting up for a flank. Here he notices. And he collapses on the flank. Does collapse in, takes down the Widow Mines. Takes down the mines. Nice storm on the medevacs. Storm on the Vikings, actually, not on the bio. Interesting. Vikings, they barely don't get the Colossus. Nice spread here from Bunny. Very nice spread. And again, here he doesn't have to force the issue. Remember, here he's getting a fifth. Like, he's getting a fifth base. He's getting more bases, getting a greater economy. Here he doesn't have to go in. He doesn't have to commit. Oh, nice catch on the Raven. Barely doesn't get it. Once again, pushing into a concave. Dust on the Vikings. And with the Colossus, they're going down. Gets one Colossus. Oof. Another storm pops up. Not the worst trade from herO. And again, what's important, he's just trading. Like herO, he has no intention to commit into any of these bases. He's just fighting on the fringe. Fringe areas here with these bases instead. Poking in, EMP goes up. Does catch out the High Templar. Colossus goes down. That's weak of here by Bunny. Gets a Colossus. Ooh. Storm zones away. Storm does zone. As Bunny, he does break out, does force back his opponent. And what's important here is, again, here he's been trading this entire time while getting more bases, getting more probes. Here he's on 84 workers. He can afford these losses, he can afford these trades. Ideally doesn't want to lose Colossus, but to respond to that, we have more robos. We're getting up to a triple robo setup here. 3 robos up and running, making more Colossus, soon to be disruptors as well. And herO takes every base. He takes every expansion. Again, the power of map control. And Bunny's just trapped. He's just trapped here back at home. He's pinned against the wall. Ooh, brutal storm. But does take down the High Templar. Bunny, he's sneaking out of 4th base, and herO, he should not let this get up and running. herO, he should fight for the 4th. Does collapse in. Colossus lagging a little bit behind. herO's maxed. Nice EMP. EMP on the High Templar. herO, he wants the expansion. Do we have any storms left? No storm. Uh-oh. And no storm remaining. High Templar now rallying in. herO, he does overextend for a moment here. Bleeding out a lot of gateway units. Bleeding out a Colossus as well. But storm has arrived. Yeah, we have reinforcing High Templar. Now he's got storms. Disruptor now coming in. Oof. Storm in the main army. And here he's done it. Yeah, here he's done it. He breaks through. The army is heavily overstimmed. No more storm. Okay. No more storm. Oh, God. And Bunny, he's holding on. Did cost him a line of SCVs. But he does survive. Bunny, he survives. Once again, zoning back herO. herO just mass reinforcing. Behind this, he has disruptors. Colossus now on the way as well. And this is still a tough hold for Bunny. As we mentioned, herO's goal is to deny the 4th. Takes down the tank. Tank goes down. Goes down, making 3 Colossus at a time. It does take a while for them to reinforce, so Bunny, he's holding on, setting up his mines. But we need more tanks, more bunkers, more sensor towers, turrets as well. He's still not ready. Oof, brutal storm on the ghost. Nice save. What's concerning here, Bunny just also his Vikings. The Viking count was just reset. And now there's no more Vikings, and here come the Colossus. Yeah, just in time to punish. Colossus have arrived. 0 Vikings remaining. And what's the answer to the Colossus? Oh, Planetary's done. Okay. Planetary is done. herO forced to rotate. You can't quite push into the Planetary. Oh, you know what isn't a Planetary? The 3rd. He rotates to the 3rd. Bunny trying to race over. 8 secured his 4th. True. But I can't say the same for this base. Yeah, no shot. No shots. SCVs are going down. Takes down 15 workers. Aye, aye, aye. herO pushing further in. Again, he's maxed. It's a bit of an awkward blink there. Does cost him a couple of stalkers, but it's fine. It's perfectly fine. Yeah, there's 2 Vikings remaining. They're being targeted down by the stalkers. And he's done it. He has broken through. GG gets called, and herO, he will snowball out of control. He will take the series 2-1, advancing on to the decider match. GG. Whew. GG, well played, herO. He does claim the series. Again, a much better response this time by herO, winding it back. If you remember, this game was similar to game 1, except herO, he did this time get a faster third base, and he was also able to confirm the expansion. He was able to scout the CC in the main, so he knew there was no all-in. It allowed herO to probe up, to take his gases, to tech up as well, to take advantage of the fact that Bunny wasn't going for the all-in, and just snowball out of control from there. The difference here compared to game 1 is that, if you remember, herO believed that Bunny was all-inning when he wasn't, right? And herO, he overreacted, he overdefended, he delayed his own economy too much. Like herO, he was killing himself in game 1, really, and in the end, we saw that Bunny was able to snowball out of control. Here, herO was able to confirm what was happening. He saw everything that Bunny was up to. GG. GG, well played. With that, herO, he does claim the series, and now we have a rematch. Oh my god. Up next is going to be a PvP in the decider match to determine who will make it through into the semifinals. It's going to be a PvP between herO and Zoun. Oh boy. Now, Zoun, he has already defeated herO once tonight, true, but do you remember what happened? In that series, Zoun, he cannon rushed. He went for a cannon rush, and herO, he had a very shaky defense against it. If you remember, he overreacted to the first probe. He did send most of his workers down to the low ground. The cannon got up and running. The initial probe in the main base survived. The cannon rush continued, and everything just snowballed out of control. And in the end, Zoun, he did cannon rush the hell out of herO. And on top of that, if you remember in game number 3 in the ace match, what happened there, herO, he scouted a he scouted a 2-base all-in. He saw 5 gateways. He saw the proxy. herO saw everything. What did herO do? He took a ninja base. And that could have been like 3 shield batteries. That could have been 2 shield batteries, an extra gateway. Like that could have been anything else. But he got a ninja base, which did not help against the all-in at all. he just died. So it was a crazy response out of herO. We'll see if herO, he tightens up here in the rematch. We'll see. Because that was a crazy first series. If you missed it, I recommend the VODs. I recommend checking out the VOD. I feel like my explanation of what happened last time doesn't give it justice. It was a crazy series. It was very chaotic. But now we do have our rematch here to find out who does make it through into those semis. Let's go. My condolences to Bunny. Bunny, he is now knocked out of GSL. But again, Bunny, he played well for himself. A lot of people didn't really expect Bunny to even make it out of the round of 12. He was in a really rough group, but Bunny, you know, he did what Byun and Cure couldn't, right? Cure and Byun, they got knocked out early. Bunny instead made it to the top 8. So really, really well done. Really solid performance there out of Bunny. Does go down, but hey, he surpassed other bigger named Terran players in the region. So really well done. Really well done there by Bunny, as it leads us into the final PvP. Let's go. The final Protoss versus Protoss. We're jumping to game 1. Game 1 is on Maganatha. Thanks for making this awesome game still rocking. Of course. The passion is real. Always, happy, always. As spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Maganatha, we have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss representing Twisted Minds. It is herO. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the red Protoss representing Team Vitality. It is Zoun. Here we go. But yeah, it's always one of those things when it comes to the history of the CranKy Ducklings. Part of me always wishes that we started a little bit earlier, but at the same time, we didn't really have the capability for it. Like, I didn't have like the capacity to stream for a very long time. Like, what do we have? I think we had dial-up until 2010. Like, I remember I remember pre-ordering Wings of Liberty and getting my hands on the copy like day 1. I went back home, and this was new to me. Like, back in the day, you used to just buy a game, like put it into your PC and just play. But there was like a day 1 patch, and I say day 1 patch, you had to like download the game even if you had the disc, like the hard copy. And I think it took me like a week. Took me like a week to download the game. Like back then, I would leave the PC on overnight to download, just because we had, I want to say back then in 2010 we had maybe 7 kilobytes down and like 7 up, something like that. So back then to watch YouTube videos, I would use like a YouTube downloader, and I would leave videos downloading overnight as well, so I could watch them when I wake up. I could not watch YouTube live. And likewise games as well. Like I have to like leave them downloading overnight as well, or over like multiple days, multiple weeks. But yeah, that was so sad because I was like, oh, let's go, we get to play some StarCraft. I was like, nope, you gotta download the game. I was like, oh, okay, I guess. Feels bad, man. Feels bad. Here we go. For now, though, we are going to be selling in 2 gate opener. 2 gate opener out of Zoun. Likewise, we have 2 gate opener out of herO. So far, standard openers. Likewise, there is no hidden pylon. We have both pylons in the main bases for both players as well. No crazy proxy yet. I say that. Oh, both players they run across each other. They run into each other. Find each other here as both players are expanding. Okay, now what's important here is that we didn't get a single macro game out of these two in the first series. Like in the first series, there was just non-stop all-ins, cannon rushes, 2 base all-ins, 1 base all-ins. Here we're calming things down. Standard opener, natural bases are being taken, 0 proxies. We could end up in a standard PvP. Okay. When it comes to our opener here, it's going to be a Stargate opener out of herO, going for some economic damage with the Oracle. Hallucination will confirm. Hallucination will, there we go, does confirm. Zoun is aware, back at home. Zoun opening up Twilight Council into Blink. Does fully roll off, and again, Zoun, because of the scout, he's fully aware what's coming his way. This Oracle should not do damage. Should not do damage. That's a May, Threat, and a Shade. Just keeping tabs on Zoun. herO does set up here back at home. He's waiting for a second Oracle. As a reminder, 2 Oracles, what can they do? 2 Oracles, they one-shot perps. They one-shot workers. So even if there's a shield battery, as we can see here, the shield battery means nothing to 2 Oracles. But that's why we have the sentries and the Stalker in position. Oracles, they rotate towards the natural. Natural is still secure. Gets 1, gets 2, gets 3. Takes on 3 probes, not bad, and barely any hold damage on the Oracles. So far, I would say a solid defense here by Zoun. He doesn't lose too much. He's holding his own. And herO, as he contains Zoun for the first time in a PvP tonight, 3rd base. The 3rd base is on the way, no shot. Oh, herO extends, Oracle goes down, massive pickoff. Oracle does fall. Nice defense here from Zoun, and this so far has not been worth it for herO. He gets 5 probes. 5 probes, 1 Oracle. That is not worth it. Here he backs the hell off. Behind this, going for his own Robo. So a couple of things here. Zoun has map control. Zoun, he has map control. What does Zoun have? Blink. He has Blink Stalkers. He has a more mobile, versatile army. From here, he can contain his opponent. herO instead going for a slower composition, going into Mass Immortal. And we spoke about this in the previous series. It's very common to see herO go Robo Immortal into Glaive Adepts. It's a very common kind of way to go all in, to be hyper aggressive with your Immortal composition. Very often you just skip Blink. You just skip Blink, and you can go into Glaives or Charge. One is more committed than the other. Glaives doesn't really scale too well into a longer game. So here comes the Twilight Council, and we'll see. Do we go for Glaives or Charge? It will tell us how aggressive herO wants to be. As the stasis traps are being thrown down, here he's securing himself here on 3 bases. Is saturating. Meanwhile, massive gateway explosion out of Zoun, getting up to a 6-gate setup. 6 gateways, 3rd base, Mass Blink Stalker. +1 is on the way, and show us that upgrade. What's it going to be? What are we going for? And we have the answer, charge. Not Glavedeps is going to charge. Now, the reason why charge scales a little bit better coming into a longer game is because the gas is all being spent on Immortals, Zealots that do a great job at tanking against Stalkers. Stalkers, they don't really do a lot of damage to those Zealots. They do a great job tanking, they do a great job closing the distance, and typically against a Zealot heavy composition, the opposing Protoss player needs Archons. They need some kind of splash damage, whether it's Archon or whether it's Colossus. Meanwhile, Zoun, he's pushing. Remember, he has that gateway explosion, he has 6 gates up and running. He's warping in. And we'll see if he can break through. Oh! Doesn't quite get the Observer. herO does zone away. Stasis traps are ready. He's got a field of stasis traps. Oh! First one gets spotted. Nice pick off. Does take down one. Just one for now. The Observers, they spot each other. Oh! He wants it! And he gets it. The shield battery does keep it alive. The Immortals, they collapse in. One of them is stuck behind the army. Not the best fight here from herO. But the Immortals, they just do so much damage here. They break through the Stalkers. Zoun, he cannot commit to this fight. And he shouldn't. He shouldn't. He does bleed out a lot of Stalkers. Has to get out. Has to pull out. Has to back off. Has to pull away. Oracle does hit the third. No saturation. 2 base all in. I should have noticed this, but yeah, 2 base all in here by Zoun. It's a fake third. No saturation. And Zoun is falling behind. He's falling behind here. He now starts making probes. The all-in has failed. Baits out the stasis traps. But Zoun's falling behind. He's falling further behind here. I should have known that Zoun wouldn't macro, of course. I mean, like, I mentioned it before, but we have yet to see a macro game between any of these PvPs. We almost got there, but Zoun, nah, it was a fake macro. True. And now herO, he can skyrocket ahead. He has +1, now working on +2, has a massive upgrade advantage. Oracle into the natural. Here he commits across the map. And Zoun, he doesn't really have much left. Zoun, the best he can hope for is a base trade. Like, he cannot fight this army head on. It's not going to happen, not against 4 Immortals. And we commit to the base trade. Oh no! Oh, stasis goes off. Does catch out the army. And here he does hit the third and the natural. Does dive into both. Again, the base rate is the best chance that Zoun has. Even then, yeah, it's not going to work. GG gets called. herO, he shuts down the all-in. He counterattacks, and herO takes game number 1. GG. herO, he does take a lead in the series. Again, Zoun, it was all or nothing when he moved out across the map. Unfortunately, he was delayed by the stasis fields. Likewise, we had 4, almost like 5 Immortals there to defend for herO. An insane Immortal count. He was ready. GG. GG well played. Solid defensive setup there by herO. And that leads us into game number 2. And does Zoun ever get a third and saturated? I should emphasize that as well. Do we ever get into the mid game? Is it going to happen? So we get into game number 2. Do we cannon rush again? Maybe. As spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Tokamak, we have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the Blue Protoss representing Twisted Minds, leading the series 1-0. It is herO. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the Red Protoss player representing Team Vitality. Down in the series, has to fight back here and now to force the ace match. It is Zoun. We go. And honestly, Zoun, he had a pretty good start. If you remember last game, he bled out 5 probes, but he was able to shut down the Oracle. He was able to snipe it. From there, able to claim his third. It was just Zoun. He did decide, of course, to commit to an all-in himself. To commit to double down. And unfortunately, he was up against Charged on Immortal, which is designed to just shut down Stalker-based pressure. Like, or designed to fight against Stalker specifically. So, really unfortunate setup there from Zoun. But here we are, getting into game 2. 2-gate opener, 2-gate opener out of our Red Protoss, 2-gate opener out of our Blue Protoss as well. Probe Scouts are coming in, and both players will confirm that they're the placement of the second pylon. We're looking for the pylon, ensuring there is no proxy. And And we should soon see one thrown down. There is no probe out on the map, so there's no fake proxy pylon. There it is. Pylon of 4 is down, and a pylon for herO. So both players are now aware that there is no initial proxy, there's no cheese. Not yet. Now up next, they're going to be looking for the third pylon, and they're going to be looking for the initial 2 units of choice. We can open up double Adept, double Stalker, Stalker Sentry, or Sentry Expand. Show us what you got. Just waiting for the Cybercore. And we have Stalker Sentry from both sides. Okay, standard opener. Standard openers here. Again, the power of the Sentry is the scouting capability, of course, with the hallucination. Also, if you recall, the Sentry was buffed in PvP, specifically does more damage to shield-based units than previously. I mean, this was like a year ago at this point, when it comes to the patch. But it increased its effectiveness in PvP. Which has now made it the standard way to open up. So it's going to be Stalker Sentry into double Adept. So with 2 Adepts, they one-shot probes. They're going to be designed to harass across the map, to get out and to try to get into a mineral line. herO, meanwhile, Stalker Sentry into 2 more Stalkers. A much more aggressive start here by herO. Zoun is looking to harass. herO, he's looking to just push. And he's moving out. herO is moving out ahead of time. Adepts, they're not ideal defensively. They're not ideal in a head-on fight. herO is pushing. He's just rallying across the map. Now, Zoun, he can still hold on, even though he has a weaker army. What does he have? A shield battery, right? Shield battery is halfway done. It's almost complete. That's why the shield battery is so crucial if you're skipping out your Stalkers. It still needs a couple more seconds. And it will finish. And with that, Zoun, he's holding. He's holding on. Nice force field, going for the Sentry. Oh, and alas, without the shield battery, the Sentry does survive. There's a recall. Adepts, they do shade in. Yeah, they get into the bases. Massive pick off here from Zoun. Gets one. Forces the recall. And now he's safe at home. Now Zoun is safe at home. Once again, shades into the main. Keeping herO busy. Keeping him pinned. And now we can calm down. We can calm down. We can expand. Zoun, he does keep those Adepts alive for the time being. herO's trying to hunt them down. Uh-oh. Does find them. So do shade away. Behind this, herO once again going for a Robo opener. Again, if you're familiar with herO's PvP, we saw it last game and we see it quite often. He's very fond of Robo openers or Robo follow-ups. So Twilight Council into Robo. Meanwhile, we do have Zoun going Twilight Council into Forge for +1. Okay. Oh, that's charge. Uh-oh. You have my attention. So Zoun once again is going for a very Blink Stalker heavy composition, and we cancel charge. We're going into Glaives. What are we going for? Never mind. I was going to say that charge is for an all-in. I mean, Glaives is also hyper aggressive. If you recall, we did speak about this in the previous game. We were also looking to see if herO was going to go charge or Glaives. Game 1, he went charge. Game 2, Glaive Adepts. This should be for a 2-base all-in. So 2-base all-in by herO. He's going to be moving out. Glaive Adepts, they're similar to Zealots in the sense that they do tank a lot of Stalker shots. They do a great job at just tanking shots. That's what they're built for. The damage is not going to come from the Adepts. The damage comes from the Immortals. Like, the Immortals are the damage dealers. So we're kind of building up. Massive gateway explosion. Zoun, he's expanding. Zoun, he doesn't see the gateways. He doesn't know. He doesn't know. This is going to be a 2-base, 6-gate all-in out of herO. And Zoun is expanding. Aye. Zoun, he needs to confirm. Hallucination does move in. herO, he does not deny. He doesn't catch hallucination. Zoun moves in, and now he sees. Okay, he sees no expansion. He does see some of the gateways. We need shield batteries. We need more shield batteries, more defensive setup. It might be too late. As the gateways are finishing. And Zoun, he hasn't seen all the gateways, but seeing the lack of third base is enough of a tell. Yeah, you can see him just pulling back. The goal might just be to abandon the third. Just abandon the third base. Yeah, he's just defending. Defending on 2 bases instead. The third base is forfeit. But this was a big money sink or mineral sink. Like the Nexus, the Pylon, the shield battery. All this could have been more shield batteries here at the natural. And this third is not going to come into play. It's not going to come into play. The all-in has arrived. Adepts, they do harass across the map. They force the defensive warp in. Adepts take him into the shade. Force fields, they're buying some time. Yeah, here he cannot break through. Nice force fields. Zoun, he's holding. He's holding on. Getting up to 4 shield batteries. But the force fields are running out. So the Prism has arrived. Prism was a little bit late here. But Zoun, he's holding on. And this all-in is failing. The all-in is failing. Here he has to keep going. Ooh, massive snipe. Takes out the Prism. Takes out the Immortal. And Zoun, he will completely shut this down. Again, Hero pushed in too soon. He's getting probe kills. But remember, this is a third Nexus. Zoun, he doesn't need the probes. He can always replace. He can always replace them. GG gets called. The all-in fails. And Zoun, he ties up the series 1-1. We're going to the ace match. Whew. GG. Hi. GG, well played again. It was a late scout, a late realization. As we mentioned, there was already a lot invested into the third base. Despite that, herO got a little bit too excited. What did he do? He pushed in, he attacked, he started the fight before his War Prism was there. So he lost, I want to say, was it 4 sentries? He lost like 3 to 4 sentries at the start of the fight because he couldn't save them from the force fields. Like the force fields were on point there for Zoun. And again, here he attacked too soon, couldn't micro back, he lost too much. GG. GG, well played. Whew. With that, we're going to the ace match. We're going all the way to game number 3. Going all the way to game 3. And we'll see how this story ends. As we are loading into Incorporeal. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have our South Korean Protoss player. We have the red Protoss. Bringing us back here to the ace match. Can he take down his opponent twice here in this group? He's close. 1 more game is all he needs. For Team Vitality, it is Zoun. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the blue Protoss player, the South Korean Protoss, representing Twisted Minds, being forced into the ace match. Can he bring it back? And can he get his revenge? It is herO. Go. So we are settling in. Will there be cannons in our future? I mean, true, if you remember. I mean, unfortunately, no Forge. Unfortunately, no Forge, so no Cannon Rush. But Zoun, he did Cannon Rush herO on this map, on Incorporeal. Not wrong. This is where Zoun did pop off. But this time is going for a gateway. And is scouting. So no Cannon Rush. Unfortunately, is going to be a 2-gate opener out of herO, 2-gate opener out of Zoun. As they do move in. Again, the goal here is to look for that second pylon. We know that there's no proxy, but they have to confirm themselves. To confirm. So they are keeping tabs on each other. Probe does dip back in. No shot Zoun hides a pylon in the main. Like, that'd be... No shot he pulls a Nightmare. It'd be crazy. Who else used to do that? I think it was Exo Striker, right? I think Exo Striker, like every PvP, he would go for a hidden pylon in the main. Just to warp in Adepts. Animal. Oh, meanwhile, double sentry. Okay, double sentry opener out of herO. Meanwhile, sentry expand. A greedy start here from Zoun. Basically, Zoun, he skipped his second unit to be able to afford a faster Nexus. So very greedy build here from Zoun. Meanwhile, herO doing something similar. Double sentry also into a faster Nexus. So greedy build all around. I mean, we are on Incorporeal, one of the larger maps in the map pool. Rover opener out of Zoun. Twilight Council out of herO. Okay. So we're settling into a more economic, greater economic start. herO should be working towards Blink. Meanwhile, Zoun, what's going on? As he does hide his probe. Alright, scouting. Okay, good. Just scouting. Checking the edges of the map. Okay, he's aware of the expansion. And now suddenly Zoun, he has the capacity here, to go for the same build that herO went for last game. He could open up Robo into Immortal, into a Twilight Council, into Glaives or Charge, as the roles have been reversed. Meanwhile, herO has faster Blink, faster Forge, faster +1. So Mass Blink Stalker out of herO, and Zoun is going to be going for a more defensive start instead. So we've kind of taken up our roles here. herO is going to be the aggressor this time, I guess similar to last game, and Zoun is going to be the defender. That's typically how this goes, typically. Zoun is working on the Forge for +1. Working on his own upgrades. Settling into 2 bases. And Immortal production has begun. And the game is going to slow down for the time being. Both players just building up their tech. herO, he should be working towards an expansion as he fans out his probes. Interesting. Yep, there it is. Takes a third. Very fast third base for herO. His natural's not even fully saturated. But again, herO, his goal here is to gain map control, to be greedy. And Zoun, he sees. He does spot the expansion. He has to do something about it. We'll see if he can. Takes his own third. Okay, takes his own third base. So both players taking their thirds. Now, last time we got tricked. If you remember, last time Zoun took a third base in game 1 of this series, he didn't saturate. It was just a 2-base all-in. it was a fake third. This time, do we actually get into the mid-game of PvP? We haven't experienced it yet here tonight. We haven't gone there. It's just been non-stop all-ins. Proxy gateway out of herO. Uh-oh. Speaking of fake expansions, herO, he's getting up to a 4-gate setup so far. He's pushing out. herO, he is moving out. Now, 4 gates doesn't have to be all in. He's getting a 5th. Getting a 5th gateway. Do we go up to 6? Uh-oh. herO, he's committing. Zoun, he does not see this. He does not see this army. herO's moving in. Loving the hallucinations. Does get some fake stalkers. Dash Force Fields. Locks down one of the stalkers. But the shield battery is ready. Sandy's holding. Sandy's holding on. Trying to lock down the army. Get some decent force fields. And here he may just have to recoil. He's cornered. Yeah, he's cornered back here. Once again, though, looks down 1 stalker. Gets 1. Gets 2. Has to pull away. Bleeds out 2 sentries. And we have reinforcements. Again, there's 5 gateways behind this. Here he does warp in, he does reinforce. And he wants his immortal seeds in, he gets 1. Takes out 1 immortal. Just the 1. As here he's punished. Has to back off. Behind this here he is saturating, by the way. He's not all in. It was only 5, not 6 gateways. So he's saturating, he's probing up, working towards charge, diving on another immortal. Gets 2. Now there's 1 immortal left. No shield battery, no energy, and he does snipe it. Takes down all 3 immortals, down to 0. Another immortal's on the way. Again, that was a costly trade for herO. He bled out a lot of stalkers. That was how many? That was 10. 10 stalkers! Oh my god. For 4 stalkers and for 3 immortals. Charge is done. Charge is complete. At the same time, here he does slip into the mineral line. Gets some damage. Gets 2. Takes down 2 probes. Takes down 3. Does catch 3 workers. herO claiming a 4th base. Again, herO, he has map control. We spoke about this, where herO's the aggressor and Zoun is just stuck at home defending. And herO taking advantage. Getting more bases. Making more probes. And Zoun, the problem here is that he cannot break out with a low immortal count. He has to rebuild the immortal count. It's actually similar to herO versus Bunny earlier on, I want to say, Torches, where herO, he was mass expanding, and the ability to pull that off was he was sniping tank after tank, right? He was sniping every tank whenever he could to make sure that Bunny couldn't break out. Similar here, where as long as he can keep the immortal count low, Zoun is stuck at home. Zoun, he's trying to build up those immortals. Temple Archives on the way for Archon production. Adepts are cleaned up. They still get 5 probes. Not bad. 5 workers go down. herO, he rotates. Does rotate over. herO's going for his own Archon production as well. Does just walk straight into the natural. Bold move. bold move out of herO. There's a recall. herO about to get surrounded. He has to get the hell out of here. Blink is almost ready. And he blinks down. Ooh, he has to recall. Yeah, he has to recall. He's going to lose a lot of Stalkers. This is not worth it. Yeah, 2, almost 3 Stalkers going down. Ay, ay, ay. And Zoun, he defends. Zoun, he has held, and now he's up to 3 immortals. Now what is the time for? It's time to push. Prism is on the way. It's time to break out. And herO, is he ready for this? Now, against this many Zealots, we do need Archons. Archons are going to be crucial here in the defense. And so far, I don't see any Archons. Not yet. There we go. You have High Temple morphing in. Templar morphing in. We're getting some Archons. Only a couple. As herO's rotating out. Does spot the 4th base. Bearing in mind that herO does have the better economy, so he can afford more Zealots, at least. But will it matter? As the armies, they pass by each other. herO out of position. Zoun going straight for the natural. The tech is here. The tech is exposed. He can go for the Temple Archives. herO is racing back home. herO out of position, pushing up the ramp. Oh, the Archons are a little bit far back. For Zoun, I mean. Yeah, 1 Archon is distracted. Zealots, they overwhelm. Again, that's a lot of Zealots. Archons, they come together. They do come together. They're exposed. First Archon should fall. And here he's just going to overwhelm. Yeah, just warping in more and more Zealots here. Does overwhelm the army. Yeah, just outswarms here. The boys are being pulled as well, just to be safe, just to be secure. The Prism goes down. GG gets called, and Zoun, he's overwhelmed. herO, he will survive. He will take the series 2-1, advancing on to the semi-finals. GG. GG, well played. I was concerned here. Zoun, he did a great job at positioning herO, at pushing between the bases, at getting on top of the high ground. But what was herO's advantage? The bases, right? He was up in bases, up in expansions, up in economy, and with that, he had a sea of Zealots to just charge on in, and he was able to overwhelm the Archons, the Immortals, the everything. GG. GG, well played. He did overwhelm, did overrun, and herO makes it through. herO does make it through. Oh my god, but still some very intense matches, some very chaotic series here between all of our players. And let us catch up on the brackets. Here we go. As from the top, Zoun, he was able to cheese the hell out of herO in that first series with the cannon rush. That was still the highlight of the series, the cannon rush and the crazy ninja base out of herO. Zoun did take the initial 2-1. Classic then took down Bunny 2-1 as well. Bunny showcasing a plethora of 2-base all-ins against Classic. At some points catching him off guard, at other points not. Classic was playing very well and very safe against him. We then had Classic taking down Zoun 2-1. We had a lot of ace. We had nothing but ace matches. Oh my, I just realized. Nothing but ace matches here. In every single series. Classic takes it down 2-1. herO was able to take down Bunny. That was also a very intense series. Shout out to Bunny for faking herO out in game 1 and kind of luring him in and having herO overreact and over-respond. And then, of course, we had herO taking down Zoun at the very end to advance on to the semis. GG, well played. Congratulations here to herO and to Classic as they make it into those semifinals to face off against... Ooh, God. To face off against their other opponents here. Hold on. To face off against Rogue and I believe it was Rogue and Gumiho, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Rogue and Gumiho in the semis. Whew. Oh boy. I knew it was Gumiho, but I'd forgotten who had made it out first last night. But it was Rogue. So we have Rogue, Gumiho, Classic, and herO in those semifinals, and we are going to be covering those semis in a couple of days. Exclamation mark! Oh, we have our calendar ready here for us. Bam! I got you. There we go. As you can see, this is our Thursday morning broadcast, and we would be casting GSL tomorrow, but tomorrow is the Pegasaur Cup. You can see the Pegasaur Cup is going to be tomorrow, so we're going to be covering that instead. That is going to be, of course, a live cast of a weekly open tournament, and we have scheduled our GSL broadcast of the semis and the finals on Thursday, so in 2 days. So tomorrow's Pegasaur Cup, and in 2 days' time is going to be GSL to wrap up Season 2. When it comes to the rest of our schedule here, we do have the Pondcast on Thursday. Not just the Pondcast, we also have OC King of the Hill. We do have to add that to the schedule, but we have OC, so we have three casts. We have 3 casts on Thursday. We have Kung Fu Cup on Friday, and you can see here the EWC Esports World Cup global qualifiers are over the weekend. They're over the weekend, so once again, it's going to be an intense weekend of casting of StarCraft. We have Sparkling Tuna Cup, we have the Brazilian StarCraft 2 Circuit, and EWC. Oh boy. So a busy week here. Next week, of course, is Home Story Cup. Next week is going to be Home Story Cup, but this week is Esports World Cup as well. So plenty of content. Plenty of content, plenty of StarCraft. Qualifying the last 4 with EWC. Yes, last 4. Last 4 players for Esports World Cup. It's going to be a 2-day event. Hello, Sinister. We just finished. We just wrapped up our broadcast of GSL Group B. Bam, we just wrapped up. And again, we're going to be wrapping up and finalizing GSL Season 2 in a couple of days. Oh boy, but yeah, I was not expecting this group to be so close, so clutch, with all these 2-1s, with all these ace matches. Very intense, very intense. And I was like, you're lucky. Good to see you, Pappy, good to see you. Este Sinistro, good to see you. Also, I should emphasize once again that this week you can see that typically we cast twice a day. We cast twice a day every single day. That is not the case this week. You can see that our afternoons are a little bit more empty than usual for tonight, for Tuesday night, Wednesday, and for Friday as well. The reasoning for this is RSL. The Revival StarCraft League begins this week. The group stage is this week. I think it starts either tonight or tomorrow. But 4 groups, A, B, C, D, are going to be played out this week over on their respective channel. Again, that's going to be covered and organized by Tasteless, by State, by Gemini, Ziggy, and many others working behind the scenes. So much love to those working behind the scenes on RSL. And we could cast twice a day every single day here, but we don't want to clash. We don't want to clash with RSL. We don't want to take away from RSL. So we're going to leave those slots open, and we're going to allow RSL to go on unimpeded. So they have priority. RSL is honestly really important. Like RSL is gonna, it's one of those big events that is going to be marking kind of like the next era of StarCraft when it comes to events outside of the EPT circuit or outside of the EWC circuit. So there's a lot of hype and a lot of support and a lot of importance behind the Revival StarCraft League. Once again, I'll reiterate that we do have permission. We do have permission to co-stream, but we probably won't. We won't be co-streaming here. We'll just be watching. We could co-stream, but it feels kind of weird. Like I don't want to take viewers away from RSL. Like I feel like they should get all the attention. I was definitely thinking about maybe co-streaming the playoffs, but I was checking our schedule and we have a bunch of tournaments during the playoffs, so that's yeah, most likely won't be able to co-stream, most likely. Then you'll finally be able to rest. True. It's gonna be crazy. Oh my god. But yes, I can finally. Fun fact: today I slept 7 hours. I feel pretty good, but for the first time in like a week, maybe a couple of weeks, I don't know, but I slept 7 hours today. Crazy. Ugh. I was so tired after last night's Wardy cast. I was so tired. But we slept good. But yes, behind the scenes, we're probably going to be working on just scheduling VODs, editing VODs. I have a lot of scheduling to do. Fun fact, I'm just about to schedule the RSL qualifiers. We did cast them over on our channel. and I will have to schedule them to be uploaded to YouTube. And if you see something that you like here and if you cannot watch it live, then !socials in the chat, you'll get a link to our YouTube channel. Again, we do stream on YouTube alongside Twitch, and we do upload on YouTube on a daily basis. So there's plenty of content on YouTube. There's plenty of StarCraft. Again, we cast more than any other channel out there, and as a result, we have thousands of VODs and thousands of hours of content on YouTube. So do check it out. Do consider checking it out. Again, I'm sure you'll find something that you like there when it comes to GSL, when it comes to Pegasaur Weeklies, What TV Mondays, Copa America, Latin American StarCraft, European StarCraft, Korean StarCraft. There's years of content over on YouTube, so do check it out. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks for watching. Thanks for support. We are going to be wrapping up here for the day, and we'll be back tomorrow for the Pegasaur Cup. Again, that is a weekly tournament where we feature players from Europe, players from Korea, and players from the Americas as well, all duking it out in that weekly format, in that open tournament format. So we got you covered there. Otherwise, I don't think we have anything else to add, I don't think. Outside of the fact that, of course, we're going to be casting the EWC qualifiers. We most likely, I have no confirmation, but we most likely will be the B stream for Home Story Cup. We've been the B stream for the past, like, 3 Home Story Cups or 4 Home Story Cups. So we have no confirmation, but most likely we're going to be there as well for Home Story Cup. On top of that, EWC proper is in a month? Jesus. July the 22nd. Oh boy, July 22nd is the Esports World Cup. Once again, I have no confirmation for that, but we most likely are going to be co-streaming. Last year, we did have permission to co-stream. We're probably going to do the same this year. Probably going to co-stream as well. So be co-streaming it up. Likewise, we have a lot of, we're also going to be catching up this month as well with a lot of replay coverage, not just GSL, but we have Lily Cup. We have a show match between Scarlet and herO. That's going to be crazy. So look forward to that show match between Scarlet and herO. It's not just a show match, it is an off-race show match. I believe herO's playing Terran and Scarlet's playing Protoss. So that's going to be wild. So we have a fun show match there. Likewise, we have a lot of StarCraft Evolution that we're going to be covering as well. We have some show matches involving Shin and Classic. So Shin and Classic, we do have a best of 7 between them that we're going to be covering. And some more StarCraft matches as well. So yeah, a lot on the horizon. A lot on the horizon here, as always. Otherwise, thanks for watching. If you want to support myself, just because our week is a little bit leaner here, I won't be laddering today, just because I still have a lot to catch up on. But most likely tomorrow and on Friday, I will be laddering on my personal channel. So !light. Hold on. !light in the chat. I will be streaming and laddering on my own personal channel. I do not ladder here. We do leave the CranKy Ducklings for like casting, right? For casting and for team content, we leave that for the CranKy Ducklings. When it comes to our personal ladder sessions, we leave that to our personal channels. So you can follow me there if you wish. I will be live most likely tomorrow when it comes to laddering StarCraft, and I'm probably going to be live later on today and tomorrow playing some Final Fantasy. Just, you know, trying to decompress, you know, playing something that, and casting something that not unrelated to StarCraft. Probably playing some Final Fantasy. I still have to work through Final Fantasy 16. True. I have to work through that eventually. So yeah, a bit of a more chill stream, a little bit more laid back, if you're interested. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks for support, and we'll see you guys tomorrow for the Pegasaur Cup. See you then. See you then. Thanks for watching. Hasta luego. Ciao, papi, ciao. Thanks for watching. Till next time.